All right, we're live on those.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone saw that yet.
Oh, they definitely heard it. Wow. All right, there's one amigo, and
There's
two
the
amigos.
J802, you know? If I call him back in the hood.
There we go. Got that going, and now I just need to. I thought I grabbed my chat thing, and it's gonna still see my. People are gonna still be able to see my stuff here on my end.
Voice of this.
Stream settings, stream URL. Yeah, see, everybody can see that.
Wow.
All right. Because it's a pain in the ass when I can't
Right.
see all the chats on one screen. So. Oh, did you see Bradley Beal went back to the Clippers?
I did see that. That's an interesting one right there.
Problem is that like he's not. What do you say?
In his prime.
Yeah, and he's kind of been exposed since being out of Washington as a inefficient scorer.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he's a fine scorer, but he's not like a number 1 or 2 on a championship team.
The thing is he spent too many of his like prime years in Washington when they were basically dog shit.
Right.
So that's the biggest issue I'd say for him, but I just think he just got exposed for being a very terrible defender.
I think he did.
Especially when he got to Phoenix.
Yeah.
But all right. So I kind of already spoiled it. We're starting with the Lakers. I know you and me have had this already kind of had this conversation about the Lakers
Little
and what
bit.
we thought.
For sure, yeah, but there's a lot to dive into. The Lakers made a lot of moves this offseason.
So we go over to their roster really fast. Actually, more or less, let's go to their depth chart. So right now, this is what they have slotted at. I still believe they're going to make some sort of move because I don't think they're going to be comfortable with Laravia at power forward. And I don't think at 6'9", I don't think I know there's such thing as the small ball lineups and stuff like that. I just don't think Sandro Mamukelashvili,
I believe.
Something like that. It's a lot to say. I don't expect the Lakers to use him very much this year. JJ's shown in the last couple seasons, guys, that they aren't going to use him very much.
Yeah, the thing with Jared Vanderbilt is he would be a starting power forward on this team if he could produce any level of offense. I mean, he can't shoot really for any extended period of time over 25% from the field, and he can't play make at all. He's a great, incredible defender. We all know that, but like, he just doesn't provide enough offensively for them to be able to keep him out there.
Yeah, that's the thing that I noticed a lot. Like, I love his energy. I love how he moves on the floor on the defensive side of the ball. He causes chaos. And
he does.
And you need that.
And he's a great defender for sure. He is. But
yeah,
he's not going to survive with that bad of offensive prowess.
I think so. It's funny that you were saying 25%. I think he shot 26% from three.
Yeah,
which is fucking terrible.
Very, very not. It's not sustainable.
Well, and the crazy part is the corner three is technically considered easier. And he shot 27% from the corner.
Yikes! Yeah,
I'm like, ouch. And I remember seeing him pull up from three in one of the playoff games, and I was like, dude,
what are you doing?
His shot is uglier than the Marion's from back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm like,
oh man, John Marion, dude.
Dude, his shot was so ugly.
It was.
But it went in. So, but the difference between him and Marion is Vando's shot does not go in.
No. And it's sad because it's like, that's kind of what he was like on the Timberwolves a couple years ago, and we all thought maybe he could develop an offensive game, but I think that's why they went out and got some more size, because but not only size, Mamukelashvili does have a shot to him. I think that's probably why he's ahead of Vanderbilt in the depth chart. I kind of like the Colin Sexton backup to Luka idea. He can take a lot of minutes during the regular season, especially. I mean, he's a starting point guard on a lot of teams.
Yeah, and that's why I was surprised when they got him for $8 million.
Right.
I was like, huh? Or no, $6 million.
Yeah.
Because it was 2 years, $12 million. I was like, huh?
Now that I'm looking at the depth chart, Matisse Thybulle, same thing as Vanderbilt. Incredible all-pro defender. Can't do jack shit on offense.
Though I will say the outlier with him is that I believe it was not last year, the year before, he shot about 32% from three, which
He did.
I can live with that. If he can, more than likely he's going to get even better open looks because of the fact that you got Luka, you have Austin, like two guys that are really good at breaking down defenses on the offensive side of the ball. Austin, some of the advanced metrics show that he is actually one of the better offensive players to get through on a pick and roll, and that's what the Lakers do run a lot with Luka is pick and roll. I want to say he was in the top 15 in the metrics when it comes to Austin Reeves being able to break down defenses and get into the paint, which I think is crazy for a guy that's not very big. Like Austin's size, like length, he's 6'5",
Right.
but like he's just about the same build as me.
Reeves is very crafty. I think he's very safe with the ball too. He's not a, you're right, he's not a big guy. He doesn't use like bull strength to get by people, but I think he has a really quick step, and he has great ball handling ability, and he has good vision too. And but that my issue is that I'm kind of maybe spoiling my take on how the Lakers season will go, but my issue with this whole lineup is, could they be top 5, top 10 in defense? Easily. I mean, they got Grimes, they got Kessler now, they got Kevon Looney's a great backup center. But I have a lot of questions to, in a 7-game playoff series, sustained offense from this group. I think you're going to get stretches from Quentin Grimes where he's good off, but like he's maybe averaging 15-20 a game on the high end. There's a lot of questions with like the power forward position. Like you literally just said that with Laravia. Kessler, the best case scenario, Kessler turns into like an AD light where he can shoot, develops an outside shot, and is a tank down in the paint. And then obviously Luka's Luka. But including the depth, like, yeah, Sexton's a scorer. We got to see what Cameron Carter is. Mamukelashvili, are you relying on him to be your fourth, fifth scorer? Like, I just have a lot of questions with where the offense, especially in a 7-game series against a team like the Thunder, Spurs, is going to come from. I just don't really see that right now. Maybe it'll be surprising, but
the thing that I like the most is that you see Cameron Carr as a rookie, second string, small forward. I'm like, out of all the rookies the Lakers have drafted the last few years, which hasn't been very many because they trade away all their fucking picks.
Right.
That's my only gripe with the Lakers is they don't rebuild like a normal franchise.
No.
They never have.
No, right.
Like,
Exactly.
the last few times they've rebuilt, it was LeBron coming to LA, then them trading for AD, and then before that it was Kobe getting Pau Gasol,
Right.
and then even before that was Kobe getting drafted and Shaq coming to town via free agency.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, they don't really draft like a natural rebuilding team. They kind of, they build it off of trades, or they hit in the, like, teams that they have that are good, like they hit on their draft picks, obviously.
and especially in today's NBA, the whole reason why I thought OKC is going to be another top 3 team in the league again is because they hit on their draft picks. They develop their talent, and the thing is, like guys like AJ Mitchell, I think it is.
AJ Mitchell, yeah.
It was a second round fucking pick.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's on a cost control deal.
Yeah.
So
and he's a 20 point a game scorer if they play him.
and that's the scary part is
Well, and the Thunder have just aside from just drafting well, I mean, they turned Chris Paul and Paul George into both Jalen Williams, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the draft pick that was Chet Holmgren. They did such a good job at flipping their assets when they had them over the past decade, basically, to where it resulted in 20 draft picks in the first round and second round, over the course of 5 years in a Shea Gilgeous from the Clippers.
Yeah, who would at that time though? Who would have thought
Right.
SGA is going to be a fucking multi-time MVP?
Not a whole lot of people necessarily thought that, but that's the chance you take when you're the Clippers and you trade for all these old veterans all the time, hoping that will lead you to a chip. Versus the Thunder, they build young and they develop internally, and that's why they're so good and so scary and will be so scary for such a long time.
Yeah, I hate being a West Coast team.
The West Coast, if you're a West Coast fan, it's a tough one. I mean, it's tough. Tough battlefield there. There's a lot of really good teams in the West.
Well, and the West got even harder too.
Yeah.
As we will talk about one of those teams here tonight as well. But I guess my last thoughts was I wanted to talk about the Reeves contract. A lot of people were ripping the Lakers for giving him a 4-year, $180 million deal. My whole thought is, do you let him go to Detroit like the rumor was out there that they were going to give him a max deal? Or do you, and that means you get nothing for this guy. He was your undrafted rookie free agent. You signed, you developed into something. So a matter of like how the Thunder have been able to flip assets, they were not able to flip their asset. They didn't want to flip that asset. So to me, for all the people that are bashing the Lakers for spending the money on Reeves and then also spending the huge contract on Kessler, I'm like, Lakers kind of had no choice.
Right.
You had to bring Reeves back, especially after losing LeBron. And regardless if you lost LeBron or not, I feel like you had to bring him back.
No, it's true. I do see your point, and I think it's a good point, honestly. Like they kind of need him in this version of their team, especially they didn't bring back a lot of their other offensive options from last year or their guards from last year. And even if they did bring back a Rui or a Marcus Smart, I would agree. They need to sign Reeves. He's proved that he is borderline all-star. All-star, really, at his best.
Keeps getting better every year.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
And you kind of need that punch with Luka, that 1-2 punch there. So I kind of don't blame them for that.
And the Kessler deal, and only reason I bringing this up was because I was listening to a couple Lakers podcasts earlier in the week, and there was a couple of guys from ESPN that were saying like, "Oh, the Lakers are trapped with the whole Kessler signing now," and I'm like, but here's the alternative. The backup plan was Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, Mitchell Robinson, Walker Kessler. I'll take Walker Kessler because Kessler, better free throw shooter, better defender, higher likelihood the dude is going to play 60 plus games.
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell Robinson, on the other hand, struggles with getting hurt, and also there's a reason why he's a backup. Kessler was a starter when he was with Utah, so
yeah, yes, Mitchell Robinson creates a lot of havoc defensively in the paint, and he is a lob threat too. But at the end of the day, I mean, Walker Kessler looks better in this lineup than Mitchell Robinson would. Now, Mitchell Robinson went to my team, the Celtics, but we're going to talk about them later too.
the man refuses to wear a Celtics hat.
I simply cannot rep the Celtics at this moment in time. I'll forever be a fan, you know what? Something I noticed too about this depth chart, Dalton Connect, man, he was supposed to be in their rotation, you know, but
he fell off, man.
He
Like
did.
ever since that Knicks trade there against the Hornets, because they were going to trade him for Mark Williams, and which very happy they didn't trade for him now because Mark Williams hasn't been amazing by any means.
right.
So, but he hasn't. He just between even summer league last year and then they tried to put him in there and put him in the rotation a little bit. And it wasn't until like the very end of the season and he scored a lot of his points in garbage time. The reason why he's not out there is because he's an absolute defensive liability.
Of course, right. Yeah, and it's kind of...
It sucks.
It kind of sucks. He just doesn't really have the defensive prowess or really the size to be a menace.
The last thing I will say is Zaire Williams there, or Zaire Williams.
Zaire Williams.
That
Wasn't he on the Grizzlies?
the Nets. He's 6'8", switchable wing. I look at him as a possible threat to take that 4 spot.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, one guy that's not on the depth chart, which concerns me, if we go back over to the roster, and I think this
Jaden
kid,
Hardy.
he's on not on there either. But also, the other guy I was thinking about was Adu Thiero.
Okay. Yeah.
I like his upside. He's 6'8", 220. He reminds me of a way more athletic Ron Artest. He has the so
He was projected to be on the depth chart. What happened there?
yeah, so I don't know what's going on with that. He was in the playoff rotation when LaRavia basically started to sell the bag in the postseason. I expect him to play a huge role. If they do not go get another wing, or I should say power forward, I would expect that they end up with. There's a possibility that Adu is going to be in this section here.
But now that I'm looking at, I'm also shocked Jaden Hardy's not in there. I mean, he was from what I saw. I mean, I never watched a whole lot of him when he was on the Mavericks, but he was a nice backup guard that provided a lot of spark plug energy and scoring off the bench. I wonder.
Yeah, he
what's
ended up
going
in
on
Washington, and then Washington traded him over when they got Ayton from the Lakers.
Right. Right. So
And-
I don't know what's going on with that, but
My whole thing about Hardy, though, is he's not a very good defender.
definitely not.
They said he was a below average in the metrics. But funny stat I want to throw out to you. So with Luka and Austin on the floor together last year, they had a 109 defensive rating, which is above the league average,
Okay.
which is surprising.
I didn't realize that.
So, and I was doing some finagling with the projections, and there's a possibility that could go up to a 108 with Kessler being there. And I'm like, that would be, if they could be a 108 or even a 107, which is probably even stretching the optimism a little bit, that Kessler trade ends up being an absolute win for the Lakers if they can keep their defensive rating around that number there. Between 107 and 110, that's, to me, you ain't gonna get any better than that.
Yeah. I think defensively they're looking rather solid. I mean, it just depends on how much they're going to play Tybalt and Vanderbilt, really. It would just, that would really, I think a Zaire Williams or a Thiero
I also
addition
would
could
love
be
to see
cool.
where this kid,
Where Cameron Carr ends up going, yeah.
like, he looked really good in preseason. I mean, not preseason.
Summer League.
I don't know. I really want to see where this goes.
More of him, yeah.
But
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure.
so final predictions, like, where do you rate them? Do they fit into your top 8 for the West?
Do you mind going to the just the standings real quick, or like all the teams? Yeah. Okay.
So this is last year's standings.
Yeah, let's go to last year's.
Go down to the West.
Yeah, I just want to look at the. Okay, Thunder better, Spurs better, Nuggets better. Wolves, I'm taking I think they fit into the top 8 because when you think about it, like, I mean, Kings are not doing anything, Jazz are not doing anything, Grizzlies,
Grizzlies, I'm not banking on.
those bottom 3, I don't think. Pelicans, no. Mavericks maybe
Dallas
could. Mavericks can maybe make a leap when you think about Kyrie's coming back. They just got Ricochet from the Hawks. I know he, doesn't look that great, but he was a number 1 overall pick. And then they just got a couple other picks from this past draft, so they could be like playing. I think the Lakers will be hovering around the 6, 7, 8 area kind of the whole season, to be completely honest. Rockets, I'm not as high on as some people are. They didn't really change much. They're getting Fred VanVleet back. I get it. I would take the Lakers over the Rockets though, and a completely healthy Lakers team over the Rockets at this point.
Where do you well, because also you have Golden State, which I think their time is.
Yeah.
I think their time is.
No,
done.
I don't. I think Warriors are looking at another playing spot. Clippers, I think, are looking at another playing spot. Suns are an interesting one. They did make a lot of moves, and Blazers as well got John Morant. That was a big time swing.
And they got Drew Holiday still there,
Which is a great combo. John Morant and Drew Holiday at guard.
plus Damian Lillard.
Yeah, they got and Shaden Sharp. They got a lot of guards. And Scoot Henderson. They got a lot of guards. So we'll see what that shakes out to be. It's kind of hard to predict, but Lakers finished 4th last year. I think they finish between 6 and 8 this year. That's my prediction. I'm not going to say exactly which, just somewhere in that realm.
I'm gonna go a little bit above you on that one and say I think the sweet spot for the Lakers is if you can land into this category of the 5-6 matchup there, or I mean the 5-6 section there, I'd say that's a sweet spot for the Lakers if they can win some games.
It really depends too on the health of Luka. I mean, if he could stay healthy the whole season, and we all know he's an MVP candidate, and the attention he gets on defense, yeah, the ceiling, I guess, could be like a 4 or 5. But again, it's hard to predict because I really need to see more out of like Grimes in a big stretch of time, and like Cameron Carr, we'll see what happens to him with him. And why is Maya calling me? Yeah, so there's that.
Okay, so we relatively can kind of live with what we to kind of agree to disagree with in a way on what we think.
I mean, our opinions aren't terribly off. I just think that their offseason wasn't as great, to be honest.
If you had to give them a letter grade, and then after we do our letter grades for the teams, we can move on there, amigo.
Sorry.
You're good, man. What is your letter grade for the Lakers, my friend, for their offseason?
For the offseason, I would say I'm gonna go with like a, yeah, you're probably not gonna like this much, but like a C+.
I gave him a B plus, just because what they were able to at least retool with after they kind of just shit the bed and they let a lot of guys walk. I like the upgrade over the upgrades they made with getting more scoring with Sexton, Grimes. And I like the fact that they got their center for the future, at least on paper. Now they at least have a core of the 3, Luka, Austin, and Walker. I think overall is trying to build the future of the Lakers in Luka's timeline. I think they did a really good job. I will say my grade would change significantly if they go get like a Jonathan Kuminga or another starting level wing.
Right.
So one of the guys I brought up was a Kyle Kuzma trade.
Kyle Kuzma could be interesting for sure.
Kuzma as the starting 4 it'd be an upgrade over Laravia by a fucking long shot.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they need some more offense out of the 4.
But
that's okay. Cool. Yeah, we're gonna just leave it at that for now.
okay, where would you like to go next, sir?
Let's stay in the West. Let's do Wolves. I want to talk a little bit of Wolves. Did you talk about them yesterday?
I talked about them a little bit.
Okay.
I looked at their.
We don't have to go far.
Oh,
into
that's fine with me, man. I'd rather hear your side of it too, man. So
for sure.
So to me, starting 5 is amazing.
Yeah, that has everything.
I forgot about Ayu Desumu. Oh
Yeah.
my fuck.
Yeah, dude. He's lockdown defense, and he proved in the playoffs last year he's a great scorer as well.
So you got two guys that are two-way players. LaMelo, he's not a terrible defender by any means. I'd say he's above average. McDaniels, I don't know enough about. I know he can score though.
McDaniels is an incredible stretch 5, or stretch 4. Sorry, he defends at the highest level. I do believe he made an All-Pro defensive team last season, and he's able to make his own shot quite well. Like when you look at their starting lineup, I kind of struggle to find a weakness. They needed so badly this version of the Timberwolves a second ball handler / scorer along Anthony Edwards. And guess what they got? I get it, Naz Reid gone, which is kind of a blow, especially to like the Timberwolves fan base. They loved him. He's a endearing character, and he was a huge stretch 4 that was able to score and whatnot.
He's also the man that had the brass balls in the fucking the locker room.
Yeah,
as I say, because dude was willing to go up against Wemby in the fucking playoffs, and pretty sure didn't he get elbowed in the fucking head or whatever by him?
Yeah.
I'm like, man tried to go toe to toe with Wemby. I'm like, I respect that. But
yeah, and I so that's why a lot of. What was your opinion on the Ball trade? Like,
I thought.
For this,
I thought the Hornets were a bunch of fucking idiots. Like,
same.
I was like, what are you guys doing? I'm like, and one of my friends is a Hornets fan, oddly enough, and he was like, what the fuck are they doing?
It makes no sense.
And I'm like, well, the silver lining to that, though, is that LaMelo has struggled with injuries. And
he has.
Same thing with Anthony Edwards. He's struggled with injuries a little bit. But I think it comes with the territory with today's NBA. The speed of the game is so freaking high now.
Right.
That, because, let's face it, the pace of the game, even you go from 10 years ago to now, the pace of the game is so much faster. Right. They're always trying to get the fast break.
Yeah.
Fast break is a bigger weapon now, I feel like, than it's ever been. Because you get that fast break 3 on a lot of possessions. But
and to your point, that's probably what this team is looking like. They're going to do a lot of transition scoring. They have a lot of pace. They have a lot of hustle in them. I love this starting 5 so much, and it's going to be fun to watch if they can all stay healthy. Moving on to their depth is where I think the weakness lies a little bit. Terrence Shannon Jr. is a great scorer off the bench. He proved that last year. And then you got Bones Highland's an interesting re-signing. Jalen Clark, Trey Lyles is that veteran presence. But you look at their bench, they're going to need some guys to step up that you're unfamiliar with at this point. Enrique Freeman, don't really know much about him. Joan Behringer spent most of the last couple seasons in the G League. I know when he did come up last season, he did come up for a few games last season, and he played well. He's a big body in the paint there. So I guess he's going to be Rudy's backup. But they're going to need some guys to step up, or they're going to need to trade for like another solid bench piece if they truly want to make a deep playoff run. That's kind of just my opinion on their depth.
I
in
feel like they
general.
got to make the move at the trade deadline to
They
like
gotta move.
ship somebody out.
They gotta get another sort of big name at the deadline, or before then even. It sucks that DiVincenzo's going to be out for most of, if not the whole year. That would be a huge boost off their bench. But I mean, since he's not there, they're going to have to do. They're going to have to do something.
He could have a Tatum type return
He
where
could.
he comes back in April.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Because he did it before, technically, in the sake of like the season, where the season was at that time. He did it earlier than Tatum did. Tatum did it in the conference finals. He did it in the second round. I know that's only a couple weeks difference, but who knows? That might be what they need. He comes back, say in March or April, and he's able to play meaningful minutes for them, even if it's limited, because he's only a bench guy anyways. So you got to think maybe there's your spark plug once he comes back. He's got fresh legs, and then you make some sort of move at the deadline, whatever that may be. You're probably going to have to package one of these guys on your roster with a pick of some sort if Minnesota has picks to trade away. After they traded away 3 seconds to get Io,
Right.
and I'm sure they get cleared out their entire draft capital just to bring in LaMelo Ball. So I feel like one of these guys is going to end up being on the chopping block for the deadline.
Yeah, they can't trade any of those core 5 guys if they're serious about making
Well,
them.
no, I'm saying like they might end up having to deal like maybe this guy and this guy or whatever.
Kaufman Wren was their draft pick. We'll see what he turns out to be. Zalarsky, I believe, was also a draft pick. Jalen Clark, that sounds like he was on the Grizzlies last year. I think he was the bench. I think he was on the Grizzlies last year. That could be bugging.
He's a Minnesota draft pick from 3 years ago.
Okay, just kidding. I guess he was in the G League. But either way, yeah. So they're gonna need some guys stepping up off the bench. Oh, they have Josh Green too. Why is he not in the depth? Why is he not in
Okay, so
the...
we gotta go look at their roster then.
I feel like these aren't fully updated because there's no way that Josh Green's not on on the depth chart.
Making $14 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of their contracts haven't even been updated.
Yeah, okay. So let's count Josh Green in there. I mean, that's a bench piece.
We got Julian Phillips. Was he on that? I don't think he was.
Nope, he was not on there. Neither was Zion Poland.
Oh. Yeah, they got quite a bit.
Isaiah Evans.
Well, Phillips seems to be a rookie, is my thought. Julian Phillips.
Right.
Oh,
People join.
appreciate Royal Woods and LaBailey. Julian Phillips was a draft pick from Boston 3 years ago, and he's a second rounder. He doesn't equate to much though because of his minutes, but he's probably going to get an expanded role then, is my guess. He's a 6'6" forward. He's kind of small for his size. If he could put on 10 pounds, that'd be ideal for him. But overall, I just think I think we both can agree their depth is going to be what grabs them by the balls a little bit if they deal with very many injuries.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that too. I love the ball trade just to kind of shake it up though and give Edwards a really serious all-star level talent next to him, creating and scoring. So it'll be. I think they're gonna be a fun team to watch.
Oh, they're going to be a top 8. I think we both can disagree.
They will certainly be top 8 if they stay healthy. Big. We're just gonna put that out there. If they stay healthy for any team that we talk about, if they're healthy, that's always the key.
Now, we're basically playing the best case scenario for these teams.
Yeah,
And I'd say best case scenario, they're a top 3 team in the West.
I
Like I
agree.
think they could outbeat Denver. They showed it even with the team that they had last year. they could beat Denver.
I have a very tough time not changing the Thunder Spurs 1-2 punch. You can rearrange them if you want, but I still think those are going to be the top two teams in the West. But number 3, I think, is up for debates, and I think the Wolves could slide in there if their lineup holds up to their potential and what we think we're going to see from them, and if they can go and maybe grab another guy for their bench at the deadline or something like that. But I could see them being number 3. Yeah, I don't think they're going to beat Spurs and Thunder out, but I could see them being number 3. 3 or 4.
If we're saying their basement, what do you think their basement is?
Basement playing. I mean, again, you're relying very heavily on the star power of this the starting lineup and the chemistry and everything clicking, and we think that's going to happen. I mean, this team was really good last year without Ball, at the head. They had a combination of Mike Conley and Edwards playing to the point, but if that doesn't gel, or if injuries happen, or if even the Ball Edwards combination doesn't work for some reason, although I think they can make it work, maybe it doesn't. Maybe the play styles don't match very well or whatever. But I just think the Ball Gobert lob threat is so strong. But
That's gonna be scary.
But again, if none of that works out, and maybe let's say Ball's out for half the season, Edwards is out for half the season, I see them being a playing team. Or if they just simply can't find any other depth, you guys have to understand that 5 players can do a lot, but in order for them to win 50, 60 games even, it's they gotta have guys off that bench that are really reliable. And if they don't, then boom, playing. I don't think they're gonna completely miss out on any chance of the playoffs. I don't think that.
I think something catastrophic would have to happen.
Yes.
Where, Edwards gone for the year.
Right. Something crazy bad would have to happen. But
because even then, I feel like even if Edwards was gone for the year, I feel like Ball with the talent around him still would be able to right the ship in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
And same vice versa with Edwards. Saying Ball is lost for the year or whatever, I still feel like they'd be able to right the ship and make the playoffs somehow. So, but
I agree with you. So I think we're
as long as they don't lose both of them, that's where I say catastrophic failure.
Yeah. I think we both agree that ceiling top 3 and bottom is playing.
Yeah, one of these 4 teams right here, basically.
Right.
Where do we want to go next?
They're gonna be fun to watch, though. I'm excited. That's up to you, man. As long as we talk about Celtics and Sixers at some point, maybe we can wait a little bit for that, or we can do it now. It's up to you.
So my final grade on their offseason, though, I'm gonna give them a B minus, and the only reason why I say that is because they didn't address any depth after getting LaMelo Ball.
Right. They sort of had.
But getting LaMelo Ball, that pretty much got you an A+, but because you never answered the depth, and I will say that the B- is also because they were able to re-sign Dosunmu.
Right.
After trading 3 second-round picks.
I'm so happy they re-signed him. He was a dog during
I was
the
hoping the
playoffs.
Lakers could have gotten him. I wanted him over Grimes.
that would have been an upgrade from Grimes for sure.
Dude, if they got Dosunmu, I'd be like, yeah, Lakers are top 3. Lakers.
If they got Dosunmu, that would make a huge compelling case for them to be better than I grade them currently. For sure.
I was so pissed when they said he resigned with the Timberwolves letter. I was
Right.
punching the air. I was like, fuck.
It could have been our guy,
I was like, son of a bitch. I was like, what?
Could have been our
Dude,
guy.
at that point, I was yelling. I was pissed. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, Rob? Because
Hey,
Rob's
so-
the GM of the Lakers.
So that's crazy because now that I'm looking at it, they were only 1 win away from 50 wins this past season. I think they could definitely exceed that.
I think it's crazy. The Lakers have won 3 straight 50-plus win seasons.
I know they're slugging it out. They're getting it out. It's just a slugfest.
What? One team I also want to spotlight tonight will be the Wizards at some point once we finish the West here. I feel like we gotta talk about, if we're gonna talk about anybody else, I'd say finish out with Portland. We'll be quick on San Antonio because they didn't really do shit, and then OKC. I feel like those are the three teams we should finish out with in the West, unless you think there's any other teams that are compelling to talk about. Portland, I just want to talk about because of the moves that they made.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's go for it.
Because Portland, to me, made a case for being absolute fucking threats in the West now.
They shook it up, and their guard depth might be the best in the league.
Because you got Drew Holiday. I don't give a shit that he's 36.
Yeah,
Same thing with Damian Lillard, 36. Like, you got the two old vets, which I feel like Dame is going to come off the bench.
He probably should, to be completely honest. But he will be that clutch veteran presence off the bench. Same with Drew.
I'm gonna go one step higher. I'm saying Damian Lillard for sixth man of the year.
Ooh, that's an interesting take right there.
If he is the sixth man for their bench, dude, you get a Damian Lillard, former All-Star, former All-NBA player, being your sixth man, and you're able to control his minutes. You're talking about probably a dude that's averaging 20 points a game off the bench because of his shooting abilities.
100%. And that's the thing is, like, after this injury, what is he going to look like? He might not be the most explosive version of himself, but he's still one of the best scorers of all time. And he has the ability on this team now for the first time in his whole career. I mean, think about it. Like, he's always been the spotlight guy, number one, He has the opportunity now to sit kind of behind the plethora of guards that they have, like Shaden and Scoot and Drew Holiday and John Morant now. And we're also forgetting about Denny Avdia, who took a massive step forward last year. I like this Blazers team when I look at it in like totality.
Klingon, this center trio of Klingon, Yang, and where is he? Robert Williams.
Yeah. Robert Williams.
Plus you got Potter too there, which I think Potter's probably going to be more or less the fourth center. But like, you have when healthy, when he is on the floor, Robert Williams is one of the best defensive centers in the entire league.
Oh yeah, dude, I loved him on the Celtics for sure.
And the fact that with all that depth, you can control his minutes. You really can be like, all right, Robert, you're only playing 15 minutes a game, which means the dude's a higher likelihood of playing 60 games is a lot higher. They have that center depth. They got the guard depth. I would expect this team to be a top 8 squad. My only critique to this team would be is you're relying on a lot of two very older guards in Lillard and Drew, and also you might be dealing with a ticking time bomb with John Morant because you don't know what version of John Morant you're going to get. Whether is he going to be the guy that caused a lot of trouble on his way out of Memphis, or is he going to be the dude that we saw yamming on Kevin Love and everybody else in the league? I think we're going to see the better end of that. I think we're going to see a refreshed John Morant with a team where he knows he doesn't have to be the best player on the team anymore.
He does, yeah, exactly.
Like, he's got so much talent around him.
Yeah. I think a change of setting is very necessary. I mean,
he got out of the hood.
I'm not right, exactly. Like I'm not gonna harp on it too much, but Memphis is not necessarily the best place for a guy who wants to play hood and guns and
he's trying to play GTA in real life.
Yeah, like buddy, let's go to Portland, and there's some junkies there, I guess, but at least there's, it's not as much of a hood lifestyle. So let's get focused on the right track, because when he is on the floor, he's one of the most athletically gifted people I've ever seen in my life.
He's basically a Derrick Rose.
Oh yeah, like an early Derrick Rose. But look at the Blazers team is very interesting. They have so many talented pieces.
What's crazy is they don't have looking at up and down their roster. The only guys that are above 30 are legitimately Lillard and Holiday.
And think about the combination. Think about the combination of how great a Dame and a Drew is off the bench. You have your offensive veteran go and your defensive veteran go, both guards, and it's like that is incredible reinforcement behind these young guards now that are playing and have gotten drafted over the past couple of years. Like, dude, Blazers looking interesting this year. Very interesting.
This is a team that, if on paper, could be a top 4 team.
Could be. If everything hits. Everyone, if Scoot develops well, if Denny stays all-star, if Dame and Drew stay healthy and are clutch, off the bench, if Robert Williams can stay healthy, if Shaden Sharp is a great scorer. Oh, dude.
The X factor to me is and all of this is Ja Morant. If Ja Morant returns to especially because of the small price tag they paid for Morant, they basically paid nothing for him. So if he turns into all NBA talent again,
right? That's the gamble you're making. But they didn't even sell off a lot of assets.
They only gave up, I think, it was Jeremy Grant and 2 second-round picks.
So basically nothing. I mean, Grant was not very useful to this team.
Well, he was just a lot of fucking money.
And he was a lot of money. And he was a lot of money.
That was just the only reason why he was included in the trade was the salary cap filler here. And
they basically just swapped. Yeah, so they basically just swapped Jeremy Grant, Ja Morant. It's crazy.
But yeah, no, that was
It's not like they have a lack of force. By the way, I haven't even said anything about Toumani Camara yet, who kind of broke out last year into being this incredible stretch 4 that could play both ends very well. Yeah, they just I'm very intrigued.
And they got Carlson to a center. They got 5 fucking centers, dude. Well,
they're stacked.
They got 3 7-footers, dude.
Yeah, they're ready.
Holy hell, 7'2", 7'1". Dude, those guys are tanks.
Yeah.
7'2", 280, 7'1", 270.
I'm calling it. You're going to see a lineup of 5 centers for the Blazers against Wemby and the Spurs.
Yo, that's...
you're going to see it, dude.
That's wild.
That's
but
cool.
Yeah, ceiling is definitely a top 4 or top 5 team in the West. Basement would probably be play-in. And that's as if things really don't work out. Overall, they had a really good offseason.
I'll agree with you on that. I think, yeah, ceiling top 4, and realistically, the 10 seed's probably the lowest I think that they would fall. I don't think they would end up being play-in lists. They just have so many interesting pieces, but anything can happen.
All right, we'll go back to the standings here. Overall, I think they did a really good offseason. I would give them an A for their offseason because they have the depth, and they just traded for an all-star level talent and basically gave up nothing.
Yeah, they did. I mean, when you look at they had a sneaky good offseason.
Yeah, they were quiet about it.
They were.
Same way with another team that I'm gonna mention.
Yeah, all right. Let's go into the.
And I think it's relatively easy to just say San Antonio didn't really do anything. They didn't add anything. They're still going to be a top 2 team in the West.
Oh yeah, you're two Dylan Harper and Castle.
And then I think that's basically all we need to say about them, at least. But like when we look at, say, Oklahoma City really quick, the thing that I think is going to be interesting to say the least for them is you're not going to see Lou Dort. You're not going to see Isaiah Joe, and you're not going to see who was the last guy there? Aaron Wiggins. And Joe, we saw play plenty in the throughout the playoffs. You also saw Aaron Wiggins play very small minutes, But the biggest piece they lost was Dort. And to me, they can live without Dort because they have guys like, for example, Jared McCain, who really stepped up huge in the postseason. They have guys like AJ Mitchell still there. But the thing is, realistically, you're going to have probably one of the Jalen Williams guys step into that role.
Yeah, I mean that guy, J-Dub, the first one, he was an all-star last year, you know? He was hurt in the playoffs, hamstring issue,
Which
but
I think that and then the AJ Mitchell injury that's what toasted them against the Spurs.
and also we all know how good and deep the Thunder are, right? But they added someone this offseason that, if deployed correctly, could be a slight Wemby stopper. Mara from Michigan. They drafted him at, I think it was like number 13 overall.
Holy fuck.
He's 7'3". And I watched him play.
Lanky fuckers.
I watched him play in the national championship. Michigan won the national championship, right? And this man can dribble the ball. He has the ability to score in the low post by creating his own shot. And he's an interesting depth add for them. And I think that's more of like a Wemby stopper type deal.
To me, that's crazy. You got 7-foot Hartensteins, 7'1" Chat. Though I will say he's barbecue chicken against Wemby.
But look at Mara. He's 60 pounds heavier than Holmgren. And he's 2 inches taller.
Something tells me if they don't win again this year, that boy is out.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. He kind of was very frail in the playoffs. I'll put it that way.
He couldn't fucking stop Wemby.
Yeah.
Well, that's why Hartenstein ended up guarding him the rest of the fucking.
Hartenstein did a better job guarding him. He was a big body.
But also look at the weight difference. That's the biggest reason why. I also think Hartenstein's a better defender anyways. I thought that would, if anything, I will give them a really good grade off of, they re-signed Hartenstein and they made sure he was a priority. Especially because he still fits the Shea timeline. So, to me, yeah, that was a great move on their end. I will say they're still going to be in cap hell.
They signed some huge deals. Chet, Shea, and J-Dub.
That's why I wouldn't be surprised if you see Chet get sent out after this season. Just because of the money that's being dished out. But else, at the same time, do you do that and run the Mara Hartenstein project if he actually does develop into that Wemby stopper in some ways?
We'll see what his rookie season looks like, but there's a lot of potential with that pick.
Oh,
I will say there's a lot of potential with that pick. He's a 60-pound heavier and 2-inch taller version of Holmgren. If he can shoot / dribble and make his own shot, that's scary.
Caruso's my age? What? 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 Dude, no shit. He's
hilarious.
actually older than me. No way.
Wow.
Wow. Dude, I am really shocked right now. I thought he was like 29 or 30, not
I didn't think he was 32 either. That's crazy. Wow. Nice.
9 seasons in too.
Yeah, he's been a low-key stud.
I love Alex Caruso.
For a long time.
I wanted to punch Pelinka right in the balls when he fucking he let him go over THT. I was like,
yes.
I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Yes,
You're an idiot.
And
like,
that did not turn out very well.
Yeah, you want to know where fucking THT is now?
Jazz.
He's playing with Israel. He's playing with the Israel team.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, he's not even an NBA pro.
That's an RIP moment right there.
Yeah, so whose career lasted longer?
And Caruso is a vital contributor to some championships. So, yeah.
That 19.5 million is rightfully deserved.
Yeah, imagine Caruso on the Lakers still.
Dude, shoot me. Shoot me. I'm still so pissed about that.
And the Sixers the Thunder got McCain from the Sixers, and he turned out to be great too.
Yeah, the Sixers are a bunch of idiots on that one.
That was a dumb one.
But easily, I think we can say, to wrap up the West, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then where's our last two go? Last two spots.
I'll put Suns in there. I still think that they have a lot of talent.
7.
I like D-Book,
And then
obviously.
8.
Yeah, I guess. No, you know what? I'm gonna have a hot take. I'm gonna say Mavericks are sneak in there at 8. I don't think the Rockets are gonna be that good, dude. I just don't. I really don't.
I think they toasted their whole chemistry because of how KD was.
Chemistry's toasted. KD's another year older. It's just not. It's not looking good for them, to be honest.
I wouldn't be surprised if KD is gone by the deadline.
I'm gonna go. So my top 8: Thunder, Spurs, Nuggets, Lakers, Timberwolves, Trailblazers, Suns, and Mavericks. Those are gonna be my top 8.
That Mavericks team
Could be a lot better with Kyrie healthy.
There's also rumors that Klay Thompson might be leaving. They might deal him, and I'm like, there's rumors that he wants to go to the Lakers. I'm like, dude, I would take Klay would be an absolute upgrade if they could get him.
Huge upgrade.
But the Lakers are in cap casualty right now with their cap situation. If they could flip Vando for him, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But I don't think Dallas is making that trade.
I highly doubt that.
If that's the case, then you know what? I'll be sending a thank you letter to Dallas's GM.
Well,
whoever that
but
is
then
now.
again, the Mavericks have done some dumber trades in the past. So
Well, difference is Nico Harrison isn't the GM anymore.
that's true. That's very true. Good for Mavericks fans.
Yeah, dude.
But I do believe in their team maybe a little bit too much this year. But I think we'll make it top 8.
So
Now the East Coast.
we'll go to the East. Team that I looked at last night that I can't even lie, I feel like they got better was Detroit.
Okay, wait. I'm not super familiar with what they did this offseason.
So they got John Collins.
Okay, John
And
Collins.
to me, and if they do bring back Jalen Duren, which all signs point to that, I think that's a huge move. Plus, they got some much needed
Isaiah
shooting.
Joe, yeah, that's a nice addition.
Like, to me, they still have all the guys from their Eastern Conference Finals run from now almost a year ago. To me, this team is going to be another top 4 team in the East again. Just because I think that's the X factor. Collins being in there with Cunningham, Duren, and they still have Thompson's brother there from the Rockets, because they have the Thompson twins. One of the Thompsons plays for the Rockets. The other one plays for the Pistons.
Yeah.
He's also really good under the radar. 6'7", for a guard, dude. That's crazy. He's like a 6'7" guard.
And they have a 19-year-old, Ibuka Okori from Stanford. Their roster's solid. I do like these additions. John Collins is a nice addition down low.
They just need
6'9"
more
forward. They have Isaiah Joe's a nice addition off the bench. Like, let's be real. He's good for 3, 4, 5 threes a game.
They got some good guard depth. I do
Gary
like the
Harris,
Gary Harris signing for a minimum deal. Like,
yeah, that's not bad. And then you go down. Who else did they get? Oh, Torian Prince is an interesting one. He was all right.
another minimum guy there. He's a
Yeah.
veteran presence. Duncan Robinson, also a veteran presence. He's also a good 3-and-D. So, quite frankly, I feel like they're still, like, they were the number 1 seed last season. Maybe they're not a number 1 seed again, because you still got the Knicks and you still got the Celtics. You still got the Sixers. You got the East is going to be a lot better this year. I realized that when I was looking at these teams last night.
I think the Pistons did enough here to continue to compete for a serious playoff run here out in the East, to be honest.
But the other team I was telling you I wanted to spotlight was Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta did some interesting things. Nikhil Alexander-Walker is great.
Bringing in Lou Dort.
Lou Dort's a great addition for sure. 3-and-D guy. Buddy Hield Didn't realize they signed him too.
He was a addition from the All-Star break. They got him.
Oh, they did.
So they got him from the Warriors.
Jalen Johnson's been a stud. I mean, he's an all-star looking talent. And then, they traded away Wishisei.
They didn't. No way, Christian Coloco's on the fucking Hawks. He was one of our G League guys. That's cool.
Oh, was he?
That's funny. Good to see he found a home though. I always am happy to see those guys pop on another team.
Yeah.
Damn, guy under 6 feet tall. That's
Ryan-
crazy.
Ryan Nemhard, yeah.
I love that. Absolutely.
And McCollum's back. Aaron Wiggins too. The addition from the Thunder is a nice addition for them.
They got better. They
got
truly
better.
did.
They got better, and honestly, they got better after trading Trae Young.
Which is kind of crazy to say.
It's true though. It's like
McCollum. I feel like McCollum gets to be the face of that offense in a way, being the point guard, but he doesn't have to be the best guy in that team. You got Alexander Walker, you got Dort, you have Dyson Daniels, you got so many people around you that like he can kind of just be the playmaker in a lot of ways that he's never been able to be because he hasn't been around a lot of really good teams other than the Damian Lillard Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He's a great veteran scorer and presence on that bench for sure.
I think that especially he's the only, other than Landau, yeah, he's the only other guy that's over 30.
Yeah, they have a young team. And Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield's
Oh yeah, Buddy Hield. But Buddy Hield, oddly enough, when I looked at his minutes last night, he didn't play a lot of minutes down the stretch for them. So, but in some ways, I feel like either way, he's going to be depth.
He's going to be depth.
But I also think maybe that's a recipe of him getting dealt. Maybe because they have so much guard depth. It's right there. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
They probably
8,
want to develop their
9,
younger
10.
guards too, obviously.
11, 12. They have 12 guards on the roster.
And it's gonna be more of a competition now with Aaron Wiggins and Lou Dort there.
Yeah, so I would imagine that Hield gets sold off to like another
Contender looking for shooting.
Yeah, well, quite frankly, man, that'd be somebody I would, if I was the Lakers or if I was the Celtics, or whoever, because Buddy Hield is also not a terrible defender either.
The Lakers could use him for sure.
Yeah,
A
absolutely.
lot of guys the Lakers could trade for it if they had the assets for it.
For sure.
All right, let's go to
We'll talk about your Boston Celtics.
the Boston Celtics. Let me start off with the positives. Okay.
Before you rip them a brand new asshole.
Well, I'm going to start with the positives because there were a couple, and I refuse to believe that the Jaylen Brown trade was a Brad Stevens decision. He does not do stuff like that. That is just, it seems like a new ownership thing. The Chris Sinak Jr. pick from Houston looks very good, actually, because he's super tall. He's 6'11". He's a great shooter. Has a nice outside shot. Shoots well from three. And he had a good tournament stretch, too. Like, that could be a very nice addition to the super guard-heavy lineup that we have. And he could play that stretch four position. I like that addition. I like the Mike Conley, even though he's probably not going to play really much at all. I do like that addition. He's a super nice veteran presence for all these new guards. And we have good depth. You got Shireman coming off the bench. Walsh is a great defender. Hauser's a great shooter. Ron Harper Jr. I wish they played him more last year. He is not as incredible as his brother Dylan quite yet, but he's a great scorer and defender off the bench.
So I'm assuming his dad is Ron Harper.
Senior, yeah.
That is fucking awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Okay, I'm rooting for him, even though he's a Celtic.
That's Ron Harper's son.
Dude,
Dylan Harper is Ron Harper's son, too.
dude, that's actually I thought that was the
Yeah,
case, but I was
yeah.
like, dude, when
Yeah. They're brothers.
when 2 and 2 finally got put together there, I'm like, oh fuck.
And when he played last year, he was really good. I remember multiple games he scored 20 plus points. And he's super athletic. And we got a healthy Tatum back, right? That's a plus. We're gonna go down a little bit.
Usually a player that's the other thing about like injuries like that. Usually the player is not good the first year he comes back.
Exactly.
So chalk last year up as, hey, you know what? The fact that he even came back was pretty fucking crazy.
Right. I like Kata. He developed as a scorer last year, and I do like the addition of Mitchell Robinson because Kata's not the greatest defender. He's not the biggest center you could have down there in the paint. So Mitchell Robinson will kind of be like that defensive presence off the bench. And I do believe we will make the playoffs. That's all positives, right? But unfortunately, the reason why the Celtics offseason is at the highest a D rating for me is because we just gave up a perennial All-Star MVP candidate last year, by the way, named Jaylen Brown, who was one of the greatest players we have ever seen in Boston in at least 40 years. I mean, since like Larry, we had Paul Pierce, but like, and Tatum and all these other great players, but like Jaylen Brown has only gotten better and better and better. He's in his prime, right?
And then they trade him away for 36-year-old Paul George.
They traded him not only for a 36-year-old Paul George, but a 36-year-old Paul George that is making $54 million this year. So the financial, like, we're getting him off the books before he becomes a free agent thing doesn't fly. Because Paul George is making the same amount as Jaylen Brown.
And you know what's even worse? Yeah, they're getting out of one extra year of Jaylen Brown, dude.
Yeah.
But guess what? Paul George has a player option after this season.
Right.
For $58 million.
So he can
like,
leave, theoretically.
Dude, no. Dude, if you're Paul George at 36 years old, and you're making $54 million.
Oh yeah, he's not going to go anywhere.
You ain't fucking. He can get traded next offseason.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he can get traded.
But other than that, dude,
but who's going to take that?
Yeah, who's taking $58 million on a 37-year-old Paul George?
Nobody. That's the problem. And I get it. Like, we tried to trade him for Giannis. I still disagree with that in the first place. I don't know why we're trying to trade. The Jays won the championship together. That was the biggest knock on the two Jays. Can they win together? They just won the chip together. Tatum was out all year. Brown stepped up and became that MVP candidate. The fact that they didn't want to keep these two guys together for the rest of their careers is just insanity to me. But
they're idiots.
I digress. I feel like if this was like 10, 20 years ago, stuff like this would never happen. This is just ridiculous. But like loyalty's gone way down in all sports leagues, really. But anyways,
there would have been a fucking riot if had Jaylen Brown been traded like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we saw the fallout of like when fucking KD went to the fucking Warriors, dude. People were pissed.
Yeah, people were super pissed. And that's what I'm saying is like this is not normal. And I get it. They tried to trade him for Giannis. Fine. But when it didn't go through, you don't just panic sell and
well, they panic sold because they knew they had already pissed him off.
I know, and that's the problem. I wish they didn't even try to trade him in the first place. Every little like shred of doubt that you think you have about Jaylen Brown, he completely destroyed last year. Like it's just sad coming from this perspective as like a lifelong Boston fan, seeing a player like this, like so beloved, not just any good player. He was a player that was so beloved in his prime, getting better and better every year. They already won a championship together. There's no argument you can make to me that says Paul George over Jaylen Brown is a good trade. There's no argument you can make to me that I would agree.
There's only 3 guys under the size of 6'5" on this fucking team.
Yeah, I mean,
holy hell!
Like
and Derek White, Pete Pritchard, and Mike Conley are the only guys under 6'5".
Right, and Mike. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
We got a big team. I mean, but no like massive. Like,
M-Dog, what's up, bro?
So,
we work with him, by the way.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say his name on stream.
But that's kind of my summarization on the Jaylen Brown trade. It should have never ever happened. It's sad to see him go, and
they were idiots.
And not only that, I still haven't mentioned the fact that he got traded to the worst possible team for us to trade him to. The fucking 76ers, who eliminated us last year, by the way. Who were bound
appreciate you saying what's up there,
we are
broski.
bound
How you
to
doing?
face them in the playoffs again. And I swear to God, when Jaylen Brown and the Jaylen Brown-led 76ers beats us to the playoffs next year, I am going to not feel bad. I am going to, in fact, be cheering. I'm going to be cheering for Mr. Brown. Like, I love that man, and I wish him the best.
So, I think we can both agree. Trading away Jaylen Brown was an F.
Absolute F minus. I mean, it's similar. It's similar to the Luka trade in and killing the Mavericks franchise.
Dude,
in one night.
I will never fucking forget that trade because I get a text. I have to say this story really quick. I got a text. I wake up from work. In the middle of the morning. All of a sudden, get a text and say, Luka just went to the Lakers, and I'm like, "You're fucking funny."
Yeah.
I literally said that. I was like, "You're fucking funny."
Yeah, you're not being real. Obviously.
I was like, and they're like, "No, look at your fucking social media." I'm like, okay, and I see like some like bench fodder fucking Instagram page that says, "Oh, Luka's getting traded to the Lakers." And I'm like, bull fucking shit. It's a fucking rumor.
There's just no way,
it's bullshit.
There's just no
And then I
way.
refresh it, and then ESPN, Sham Sharani. Luka Doncic is being traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a first-round pick. I was like, are the Mavericks smoking crack?
Yeah.
Like, that was my first thought. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like, dude.
I mean, that's essentially what it feels like. Are we smoking crack? Like this is just such a dumb move, and that's why Nico Harrison got fired. Like that's why he was canned.
And the saddest part is Anthony Davis is even on the fucking Mavericks now.
Exactly.
Dude,
so
like that's how you know you.
The Mavericks traded him for what did end up becoming Cooper Flag, but they didn't know that it was going to become Cooper
Though
Flag.
I will say Max Christie, though, I will say they did get a solid 3-and-D guy out of that.
Yeah. So they got Christie and Cooper Flag. So
Yeah.
think of that what you will. But yeah, it's just sad. I do think we'll still be good. I do like our depth. I do like a lot of the players on our team. I just simply cannot support them this season because of that one move.
I gotta say though, the only reason why it's not an F completely is because of the signings of Mike Conley and Mitchell Robinson.
Right.
Outside of that,
And I like Chris Sinak from Houston. He looks like he's going to be good.
but overall, I would say a D plus.
Yeah, I mean D plus. Being objective and non-biased, D plus.
Yeah, like
It's just and maybe Paul. I'm not saying Paul George is going to be bad. I love Paul George and the way he plays, and I mean he's a future Hall of Famer. I mean, but he's 36 years old. Jaylen Brown was the heart and soul of our city, and he's 7 years younger than Paul George.
But I do have to say, if the wheels do come off, this season, meaning like worst thing that happens is Paul George misses most of the season or all the season or anything like that.
Yeah.
Celtics might be in a little bit of deep shit.
Yeah, for sure. Especially like a lot of this relies on Tatum now, kind of taking the reins as the number one.
And also, you're also betting a lot on a Mitchell Robinson who hasn't been the starting center.
Well, Kata's going to start. Mitchell Robinson will probably come off the bench, and they'll probably have like a 60.
Case.
It will be. Kata was starting last year, but it'll probably be like a 60-40 minute share. I think Robinson will play a good amount, but Kata's their starter, as he proved last year. He's a solid player.
But I the only reason I say anything different about Mitch is because of the fact that like they're paying him, I want to say like 20 million ish.
Oh wow! That might be too much.
So if that's the case, I don't think if Mitch is going to be the starter, I will say this. The one thing I will say is Mitch will not be the guy that plays 30 minutes a game. He just can't.
No, no, he won't.
If anything, they got more than just him there. They got Garza too.
Yeah, Garza plays more forward though. I don't know why he's listed as a center.
I think you could also just see in general that there's a possibility maybe all three of those guys play the center position, but like Mitch might be the starter, but he's only going to play like 20 minutes a game, and then the rest of it's going to go to Keita, and Garza might play it in spot minutes.
It might be matchup based. For example, if we play a team like the Spurs, if we play a team like the Knicks, even. I would think Mitchell Robinson would start a game like that, just because Keita would be so incredibly undersized and outmatched physically that I think Mitchell Robinson would at least make for a better defensive presence. Like if they play a team with a superstar center, I would start Mitchell Robinson over Keita.
Okay, so another team we want to go to. We've covered Boston. We've covered Detroit.
Sixers.
Yeah, we can go to the Sixers now. But I will say, last thing I will say about the Celtics, their basement, they're probably a lower seed in the East if things completely go off the rails. But I'd still say they're a top 5 team in the East.
I agree. Yeah, I think.
But it's going to be a lot more of a fight this year with teams like Detroit. You've got Miami, which we'll see about them. And to be honest, too many people are sleeping on Toronto.
Oh, well, they got Kawhi.
But that trade, so the funny part about that whole Kawhi situation.
The Pacers are back too, by the way.
Yeah. That entire Eastern Conference is going to be a lot harder than everybody thinks.
Cavs I'm not super high on. Hornets, they tanked their own teams for no reason.
Yeah, they basically were like, no, instead of being Hornets, we're just going to be called the Nosedives. We're going to just nosedive right into the earth.
They were a top 5 offense at the second half of last season, and they blew it up for nothing. But that's on them.
Milwaukee's pretty much, I'd call them out of it.
Bucks are not a playoff team in my opinion.
Orlando, I feel like they should be there again, but they're going to be probably closer to that 8 or 7 seed.
Yeah, the Magic are not super impressive to me, but I think there's enough, and the Knicks obviously are going to be back in it. I think the Pacers take a massive step forward this year with a healthy Halliburton and Zubac in there now. Here we are, Sixers, the flip side of my most miserable trade of all time. Seeing him,
most miserable trade.
Look at that man right there, number 7, Jaylen Brown on the Sixers depth chart. That makes me want to vomit. Oh my god!
Look at this depth though.
I think it goes without saying that the Sixers won the offseason. I mean, they got LeBron James.
They got Anthony Simons.
They got Anthony Simons, Dean Wade. All massively improved their depth.
Contavious Caldwell-Pope.
Contavious Caldwell-Pope. They're kind of... And LeBron Filion Jr., their rookie, was kind of a steal at that pick 20 that they got him at.
They're so fucking stacked.
They're very, very stacked.
Well, and then this is the part that I looked at last night with just seeing their starting 5 just to see it set up like that, and I'm just like,
so we were oohing and awing over the Timberwolves starting 5. Look at that starting 5. Are you fucking serious?
Like, fuck me running. Like, legitimately, like, then you still have Wade, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Anthony Simons.
And that's a legit bench. Look at their second unit. That's a legit second unit right there.
Why do you have, how is... Like, Simons is a bench player on this fucking team, and he was a starter for the Bulls last year.
And the Celtics, he was starting some games.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm surprised that he took less money to go to Philly, but now I'm like...
It kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
He knew.
You're going to get a ring.
Yeah, that's what he was thinking. They on paper, they might have the best starting 5 in the league.
My only scary part, and I said this last night, was Embiid's games.
Yeah.
38.
That's scary. And again, best case scenario, if Embiid's healthy, But here's the thing, right? Is during the regular season, I don't think Embiid will have to take as much of the load now. They have Jaylen Brown, Maxey, and Edgecombe second year with a deep bench. I feel like Embiid can sort of play the regular season safer in a way, and that would kind of lead them into.
He hasn't played 60 games in fucking.
I don't expect him to play his career high in games this year. I'm sure
if he plays 50 games, and I even said this last night, dude should only be playing, realistically, should not be playing in back-to-backs. He shouldn't be playing on like games where they don't need him.
Right.
Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they will do that this year.
If he plays 50 games, though, that's a win to me. If you're Philly and he plays 50 games,
that's a huge win.
And then same thing with Braun. Like, Braun's had his injuries a little bit. He played 70 games 2 years in a row, and then he played 60 last year.
Yeah. I think regardless of how impactful, like, Braun is, like, throughout the entire season, like, on the floor, I mean, just the fact of having, like, you know, one of the best basketball players of all time on your team in a state where he can still provide 20 points and 8 assists, and like it doesn't really get better than that, you know.
And to me, like, you got to think when it's Maxey's off the floor, he's going to be your point guard.
Totally. I mean, LeBron running the show, that's something you want. That's something you want as a team. If LeBron's, it doesn't matter how old the fuck he is. If he's running the show, you know, you're in good hands. At the very least.
And at this point in his career, he doesn't have to be it's the same thing with Embiid. Neither one of these guys have to be the best player on their team.
Exactly.
Anymore.
That'll probably be JB, and Maxey will be the top two options.
And Edgecombe, you can't forget about him. KCP off the bench, like, great 3-and-D guy, even at this point in his career. Simons, great scorer off the bench. He could even be one of those guys that potentially challenge for the sixth man of the year.
He could. Yes, I agree with that take. I could see Dean Wade and Anthony Simons also starting some games, depending on how much LeBron.
I don't think LeBron plays back-to-backs at all.
That exactly. I could see Dean Wade filling in at the power forward. And let's not forget, Barlow and Justin Edwards are some nice depth pieces as well. The Sixers won the offseason.
A+.
A+ is such a sad sight to see Jaylen Brown on the Sixers, but what can you do? I mean, it's just unfortunate that we're at this point.
All right, so now we can, at this point, hey, how goes it, Max? Good to see you in the stream, man. I gotta say, a team I wanted to spotlight tonight was Washington.
Ooh, yeah, the Wizards did some interesting things.
I like this team a lot.
That is a very fun-looking starting five. And for those of you that don't know, Alex Sarr is a beast. Okay, he's like a 6'9", 6'10", and he plays offense like a power forward that can create his own shot.
And you got a backup in DeAndre Ayton, who, if we're keeping it 100 here, Ayton as your backup center,
it's solid.
That's really solid.
That's
Former number 1 overall pick out of Phoenix, or for Phoenix, then bounced around a little bit. Phoenix, Portland, LA, and now he's with his 5th team now.
Yeah,
Wizards.
Yeah, he's been bouncing around for sure.
The other move I thought was really big was getting Chris Middleton.
I like that a lot, Chris Middleton, as a sort of veteran scorer down there in the second unit. Bilal Coulibaly, very young guy. Bub Carrington, young point guard.
Bonsa.
And Bonsa is their number 1 pick. That's like their Ferrari Lambo in their starting lineup. Trae Young to AD and Alex Sarr combo could be lethal if AD stays healthy.
And the best part, though, I gotta say, is Washington made it so Anthony Davis doesn't have to play center anymore. And to me, AD, I'm gonna say this to you, and I hope you see this video. Stop wearing low tops, you dumb fuck.
That would probably help, wouldn't it?
Like, dude, you wouldn't roll your ankles nearly as much there, you big tall dipshit. Like, protect your ankles.
You know what? And that's coming from the heart from a man who had to watch him as a Lakers fan. So,
Dude, bro, when Anthony Davis is on the floor, like actually on the floor and healthy, dude is top 5 power forward in basketball.
100%.
Like, he is so fucking good. The switchability, he can guard guards up out on the fucking 3 line. He can play, he can, dude, he can do everything.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he's a former MVP candidate.
Yeah.
Like,
and again, number 1 overall pick right there, who Devonta looks, it's not like a Zachary Richese pick where everyone was like, could be good, could not be. I mean, this guy's already sort of a bona fide NBA talent from everything that we've seen from him. So the Wizards are going to be interesting this year for sure.
if the Wizards hit their ceiling, they're a playoff team for the first time in a long ass time.
If this lineup can stay healthy, build up some good chemistry, if Devonta's is good, Alex Sarr 3rd year, I completely believe in that guy. I watched him play live against the Celtics last season. He's a beast. And then Trae Young obviously running the point. Yes, Trae Young defensively is horrendous, but Bub Carrington's not, and that's an interesting backup that you now have access to. He was starting games last year.
And also Trae just got paid, so
Right.
he's gonna be motivated.
Yes, he will.
And I'd say overall their offseason, they hit the fucking nail on the head when it comes to acquiring a backup center, bringing back Middleton, a veteran presence, and you know damn well he's gonna help all these other guys out and just be better players. He's gonna play the Marcus Smart role, believe it or not, with this squad.
I believe it. Chris Middleton, nice veteran to have up there. But yeah, I think Wizards. What do you think ceiling and floor?
Ceiling, they're a 6 seed
Okay.
because it's just that East is gonna be hard.
Yeah, and they've been so bad for so long. It's like hard to believe they would be top 3 all of a sudden, right?
That'd be beautiful, but I just don't see them. They're not going to overtake the Hawks. They're not going to overtake they could overtake the Celtics, but that's tough. You're asking for Davis to play at least 60 games.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get that's where I'm going to double down on this. If Davis plays 60 plus games, they are 100% going to make the playoffs.
I agree with you. I think realistically, ceiling is around a 6 seed. But that would be entering the playoffs without having to play in the play-in, and literally for the first time in when was the last time they made the playoffs? Since like the John Wall years? No, Paul Pierce, 2017.
Well, let's see. Hey, Google. When was the last time the Washington Wizards made a playoff appearance?
(2020)
2020-21, losing to Philadelphia in the
first round.
Yeah, that was the end of the Beal era, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Yeah, it was. So it's just to get the 6th seed this year would be such a massive success for them. That's high end though for me.
And I would say low. I still say they're a playing team, like maybe a 10 seed.
I think low until I see them really do anything together. I think low is a 11 seed, a 10-11 seed for sure.
Yeah.
You're assuming Anthony Davis is not playing because he's hurt. Trae Young is just so bad defensively that his offense doesn't matter anymore. Devonta is not as good as we thought. Like, you're assuming that kind of stuff for an 11-12 seed, but I think they'll be better than that. I think they'll at least make a play-in run this year.
100%.
Yeah.
So we got, I'd say, 2 teams left to talk about. We'll talk about Indiana.
Yeah, let's talk about some Indiana.
And we'll talk about Toronto.
Yeah. Pacers are interesting too this year. Got nice, healthy Halliburton back, even though he has a day-to-day.
And you got Ivica Zubac in that trade from last season. That was a big move. Having him and Siakam with Halliburton now, then you still have Andrew Nembhard and Aaron Naismith.
Yeah, Naismith. Great shooter, great defender.
And McConnell is their back as Halliburton's backup.
Yeah, I like their depth. They got Oubre was a good signing. Obi Toppin's still back there. Larry Nance is a good backup center. Yeah, vet. Ben Shepherd's interesting. I don't know about the rest, but
Kelly Oubre, that's a great bench signing right there.
it is.
He's gonna be your probably your sixth man off the bench. He's gonna be is a pretty above average defender, on top of being a pretty solid scorer as well.
He is a good scorer. He's very athletic too. He can get to the rim.
Yeah, I'd say Indiana's gonna be good.
Him and Anthony Simons could combine for best six man in the East Coast, if not the NBA.
100%. I gotta say, Indiana's, dude. Let's just pull up the standings again really fast, cause
they were last place last year.
But I'm just saying, overall, because we were trying to build a top 8. There's 3 teams right there that's in the top 8.
Yep.
You got we haven't talked about Toronto yet. We got Atlanta.
Spoiler alert.
We got Atlanta. We got Philly. So there's 5 teams right there. You got Orlando potentially. That's 6. You got Pacers 7. Potentially Wizards 8.
I'm taking Pacers over Magic this year. I really am. I think that they're more explosive. They're a more well-rounded lineup. Dude,
I think you could argue that Miami could even overtake Orlando.
Well, yeah, we're kind of ignoring the one of the biggest offseason moves, Giannis to Miami.
It's just what scares me is that Miami's, hey, Herman, thank you for the gift, man. With the let 'em cook. Yes, you're letting us cook, man.
We're cooking.
We might be able to squeeze in Miami as well really fast. But
we could do a quick Miami extra credit run.
Indiana, I'd say relatively, they're going to be a top team in the East again.
Yes, I think Pacers are in the playoff hunt once again. They made it to the finals 2 years ago, and we're forgetting about that part. So,
it's scary. The East has gotten a lot better.
East has some more. I still think Bucks, Bulls, Nets all miss playoffs. By the way, that's the bottom 3 probably. Hornets, goodbye. I don't believe in you now. I love Colin Knippel. I love Brandon Miller, but what the fuck are you doing?
The East is gonna be way too hard for them to make it.
I agree.
And I'm gonna scan them really fast, see
Orlando.
what they did.
They didn't do much from what I remember.
Yeah, no,
Like,
they
not
didn't.
much at all.
They brought back Vucevic
They did get Vucevic again.
after all these years of him moving around to all these different teams. I'm happy to see him back, but
There's still a lot of questions about this offense.
they got Bane, they got Banchero. That's where a lot of their money is tied up, and then Suggs, and then Franz Wagner. Their problem has been not being able to keep these guys healthy, like Suggs, Wagner. Bane was brought over to be to kind of help the offense, but also be a good defender as well.
I think Anthony Black's gonna have to take a step forward this year too, just kind of overall as a point guard and a scorer. If they need they need some more offensive weapons they can rely on.
I just don't think they also hired the right coach either in Orlando. So I will say I'm gonna sell low on them. I still think they're gonna miss the playoffs just because, and if not, they're gonna be one of these teams.
I think they're like a play-in team, to be completely honest. But
now we'll shift to Toronto, and one disclaimer I will say about this team is keep in mind that all the stuff with Kawhi Leonard still hasn't completely gone through yet.
that's true.
Because Ingram's still on the roster, as you can see. So
Should we just assume that Kawhi did get traded?
So here's the funny part with them circumventing the salary cap, the Clippers. If that finds to be true and everything's pointing out that it seems to be, his contract's getting void. So that means the trade gets rescinded. All those guys stay on Toronto. Ingram, all those guys. And then Kawhi would potentially sign a minimum deal with Toronto. So
Wow,
and
that
if-
would be crazy.
that would fuck the Clippers like
Oh
royally.
my God, yeah, that would kind of screw the league over a little bit.
But I'd rather see that happen because,
Ooh, that would make him OP.
well, dude, you think Ingram and
Kawhi,
Kawhi,
and
RJ
RJ Barrett,
Scotty Barnes,
and Scotty Barnes we're forgetting about.
like, dude, man,
That would be
quickly.
That would be in contention for one of the best lineups in the league, just straight up.
Yeah, that's the best. That's one of the best teams in the East.
Oh, for sure.
If they hold on to all that depth, plus they get.
But even if Ingram goes, they're getting a much better version of him back in Kawhi Leonard to pair with the All-Star Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett, who's a beast.
Yeah, like that. But I'm just saying, like I don't want to see the Clippers. To me, they traded a lot for a older Kawhi Leonard. That was just my thought on the whole
They
thing.
did. Trying to be competitive in this Eastern.
But what's funny is,
But yeah, they have it in there. So
yeah, that's the thing. He's not on the roster, but he's in the depth chart.
yeah, you take these with a grain of salt. The ESPN depth chart says.
But yeah, dude, that's crazy to me.
What a fucking lineup. And look how much size there is in that backcourt. Kawhi, Jakob Poeltl, who's like 7'2", and then Scotty Barnes is like 6'10". Massive wingspan. I mean, and RJ Barrett's not a small guy. Like, Quickly is, probably like 6'5",
6'2".
6'2".
That's still crazy to me.
Dude, I just... the Raptors, wow,
If
Kawhi
that
signing-
trade doesn't go through though, that's gonna be one. The Clippers are gonna be up in arms. They're gonna be fucking pissed. But also, you shouldn't have been fucking doing some dirty shit under the table.
It was their fault from the beginning if it doesn't go through.
But there's also a potential that Kawhi Leonard gets suspended. Also, there's that.
How insane would it be if he just signed for the minimum and the Raptors kept Ingram
Well, they also traded away Grady Dick,
and Grady Dick?
so you got to think that's like another guard, another small forward. I think it would be a cool move for the league if a Canada team won the fucking whole thing again. Because I think you could argue that team could beat the Knicks. That team could beat the Sixers potentially if they get Grady Dick that comes back and Ingram stays.
If
on
you
that
added
team.
Kawhi to this exact roster right here, yeah, they could beat anyone in the East.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Like that team's crazy good at that point.
Yeah, I believe that.
Because, well, also realistically, Kawhi could only sign a minimum deal with anybody because
Right,
everybody's already spent their money.
right.
So, but also he could be somebody that decides, oh, now that I'm not getting traded, maybe I want to go to the Lakers. Maybe I want to go to the Warriors.
You cause some havoc like that for sure.
Oh, and that's the crazy part. Like, everybody was blowing up about LeBron signing for a near minimum deal. Kawhi Leonard could do basically LeBron's decision 2.0 and decide, oh, let me go add myself to Toronto. Let me go add myself to
He could.
let me go add myself to Boston. Let me go add myself to the Knicks.
What a way that would be to repay the Toronto fans after,
Like,
leaving the first time. But he won them a chip, so it's like...
I still think he was stupid for leaving.
It was sort of bittersweet him leaving because it's like, you just came to our city and
Won a championship.
won a championship, was the best player in the world, really, during that run. And it sucks that you're leaving, but, like, you delivered us that. So it's, like, kind of bittersweet, but it would be crazy if you came back.
We'll never forget that fucking playoff run because I saw that. I watched that game winner against the Sixers.
Yeah, dude. I remember where I was watching that game with my dad, actually.
bricks.
Yeah, and that was such an insane moment. It kept bouncing, 4 bounces.
And then when that went out, I was like, oh.
I was hyped on that too.
I was so happy to see that. So we're closing in on the 1 o'clock mark. We
could quickly go over the Heat just because of the honest thing.
Yeah, it's because I was gonna say. Other than that, I don't.
Knicks didn't really change much.
I don't want to talk about the Cavs.
Cavs are just. I'm quickly on the Cavs. I'm more down on them than I have been in a while.
Well, especially with the East now.
Yeah,
Fuck,
I don't believe in James Harden at this point anymore.
You can realistically say better than the Cavs. Better than the Cavs.
I think Cavs
better than the Cavs.
I think Cavs are a play-in team, if not worse.
You're looking at 5 a year. Realistically, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your top 6 right there, probably.
Yeah, all over the Cavs for sure.
So 7 at best.
I'm taking Pacers over Cavs. I'm taking Magic over Cavs. I'm taking Heat over Cavs.
I'd say Cavs are still gonna beat over the Magic, but so I'm gonna say Cavs 8 seed. Cavs are 8 seed.
Or 9.
Or 9.
8
or
9.
9.
8 or 9.
Either
seed.
way is pretty fair.
Yeah, I'm just not. And they lost some depth pieces. They lost
Wade.
Wade was a big one. I just don't believe in them much.
And now we go to the team that basically made I'd say the big, other than the Jaylen Brown trade, I'd say the biggest swing of the offseason.
Correct. I would agree with that. The Giannis move is massive. Obviously, everyone knows that. The Greek Freak.
Plus, not only that, they got Bobby Portis in the trade,
Yeah,
too.
Bobby Portis is a sneaky good addition in that trade. He's a big forward that can shoot.
Coming off the bench, that's huge. Plus, they were able to re-sign Andrew Wiggins. And let's not forget, Andrew Wiggins was a big reason why the Warriors won a chip.
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins is a very solid re-signing. Also, Tim Hardaway Jr., great shooter. Played Minnesota and then the Nuggets.
And the Pistons, too.
And the Pistons. He's just a great off the bench spark plug. He can get hot quick, make a couple threes. I like that.
He might be the starter.
I think the one big, and then obviously Bam and Giannis. That's probably the best 1-2 punch in the league. At the low,
4 and the 5.
the 4 and the 5. But my big question with the Heat, and the reason why I don't think that they can beat a team like the Knicks or the Sixers or even the Celtics, I'm going to go as far to say that, or even the Pistons, is because they don't have a point guard. Like, who's going to be their point guard?
Davion Mitchell.
I mean,
and the only reason why I even give this man any credit, young, one of the top defenders in the league, but look at that.
Okay. Oh, he shot pretty well from 3 last year.
That's my reason why I'm even high on this guy. Davion Mitchell is going to be able to fully step in.
You know what? Actually, Jesse, I'll give him credit. He averaged 6.5 assists last season, which is way higher than his career average. So that points into a positive direction.
And he took an influx in minutes.
Yeah.
More than likely because of the Tyler Hero trade.
Yeah. And
Tyler Hero's out most of the year.
I think it's good that they traded Tyler Hero. It's
still crazy to me that Pat Riley still is so good at fucking wheeling and dealing there, even at his old age. He's still probably one of the best presidents of basketball operations and you could argue he's probably one of the best in basketball history.
Well, you see that the Heat are perennially just in the hunt all the time. Well, they're never bad.
Let's just flash back 20 years. He got Shaq. He got Antoine Walker. He got Jason Williams.
Yeah.
Put that around Dwayne Wade, their flourishing new young piece. Won a championship. Then he does it again in 2010, 2011. Brings in LeBron and Chris Bosh, and then just puts around the right set of veteran talent like Rashard Lewis.
Yeah,
all that.
Yeah, he constructed a super team.
Yeah, and then he does it again with bringing in Jimmy Butler, and they make the finals in 2020.
Yeah.
It's
as an underdog to the extreme in every series they played.
Yeah, so to me, Pat Riley, hats off to him, man. like one of the best basketball execs probably the league's ever seen.
For sure. I think he's proven that at this point.
But I also will say hats off to Spoelstra too.
Mm-hmm.
Dude that got the job back when LeBron joined the Heat way back now at this point. That's crazy to think 16 years ago.
Fucking crazy. I remember where I was there in season 2.
And Spoelstra still is the coach after all this time.
Yeah.
Like,
hats off to him for still being there.
Best Nepo baby of all time, Eric Spoelstra is. I mean, really, the thing with him is him and Pat Riley maintain a level of consistency every single year. Even when the Heat aren't super team good, they're always in the playoff hunt, and they're always scary in the playoffs because they just play with such grit and grind. It's the Pat Riley way, and you see it without the history of the teams that he's assembled. You know,
They play hard for Pat because well, Pat demands that from his players, and we can go as far back as him being a coach for the Showtime Lakers back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at those. Look at the just overall. Look at the dynamic teams he's built over the years as head coach and GM and president of basketball operations. He's just built really good teams around.
The man played 2K in real life and mastered it for sure. Like,
Basically,
absolutely.
Hall of Fame GM, Hall of Fame president of basketball operations.
And that's why you kind of answered my big question with the Heat was the point guard dilemma. But Davion Mitchell looks like he's evolving into a point guard, a legit point guard, starting point guard that can create as well.
And yeah, they do have Hardaway Jr. as projected.
Oh, they do have
guard.
him starting there. Okay.
That's going to be interesting. They do definitely need to address the depth.
Yeah, Bobby Portis is a nice six man, but after that, it kind of falls off a cliff.
Yeah. I do like this guy, but he is far down the depth chart.
They traded a lot of their depth for Giannis. They traded Jaime Jaquez as well, and Tyler Hero. And
who was the other guy, that center that they traded away? I might go over
Khalil Ware.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, so
they'd all be on this depth chart, obviously.
So, quite frankly, though, they could probably go acquire somebody on minimum deals that are still available, like a Bruce Brown. Brown would be huge.
Bruce Brown would be a nice addition.
He's a free agent still. He would be close to a minimum deal.
Like a Drew Holiday addition would be crazy good.
Yeah. That's another thing that I could see, like, is Portland dealing one of those guys at the deadline.
Totally. I think they will. I think it'll just depend on who.
I think they'll deal like a Drew Holiday out to a team like this.
But who knows, Jesse? Because what if the Blazers are in a really nice position and want to make a nice playoff run with their veteran guards on their bench?
Maybe they go grab somebody.
But I could see a world where they sell some of those guys at the deadline.
Especially because Drew's in the last year of his deal.
Or maybe they could, so they could get something like another piece for him. So the Heat, again, they always fly under the radar, but this offseason they didn't. They got Giannis.
I still think they're gonna be an 8. They're like probably gonna be 8, maybe a 7 seed. I still would value them over Orlando. And if worse comes to worse, if the ceiling doesn't get reached, they're a play-in team. I just think they're way too talented to not be they're just way too talented to not be at least in the hunt.
I mean, exactly. They have two bona fide superstars, one generational, obviously.
And you got Wiggins, who's an under-the-radar player.
Wiggins, who, like you said, helped contribute to that Warriors chip. Tim Hardaway Jr. is a nice offensive piece, and Davion Mitchell rounds it out nicely with the defensive.
Solid starting 5.
Very.
Not great, but solid.
But I think we can both agree that depth needs to be addressed if they're going to make a run.
For sure. Just for the fun of it, I'm going to walk over to the Bucks.
The Bucks
have a lot of depth.
The Bucks do have a lot of interesting guys, but their starting five just kind of looks like like if the NBA had like an expansion team, and then that team could like select like the 6th or 7th best player from like a couple different teams.
Oh, and they also signed the worst contract in the fucking of the off season with Gary Trent Jr.
Yeah.
Just for fucking shits and giggles, I am gonna quickly just roast the Bucks on Gary Trent Jr.'s contract.
What? 4 year and $64 million at this point of his career?
Fully guaranteed deal pays an average annual $16 million.
Well, okay. If I was Gary Trent Jr., I would definitely do that.
It cannot be traded until January of 2027.
That's trash.
They're fucking idiots.
That's trash. And he's not even he's on the 3rd rank.
This is why I said Milwaukee's a bunch of fucking idiots.
What are they doing?
Well, they also had to pay somebody.
Listen, Bucks fans. You won your chip in 2021, 2022, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Hold on to that, because the next one's not coming for a very long time. That's all I have to say about this.
I'm also surprised that these two still are there.
Yeah.
I don't think the offseason's done for Milwaukee yet. I think both those guys could potentially be out.
The one positive I will say though is they do have a lot of pieces to where I could see them acquiring a lot of draft capital at the deadline, because they could ship people like Kevin Porter, Turner, Pocket, really any of these guys, Osman Jang. They could ship any of those guys to like contenders that want some extra depth and are willing to trade like a 1st-round pick or something.
I feel like Kuzma and Turner are both going to be the guys that are going to get dealt by deadline.
I think if you're the Bucks, you go all out full G League tank mode. Just get as much assets as you can in the draft for the future, and then just go from there. Except for Brandon Berry, that was your pick this year. So
I gotta say though, really quick, the Bucks on paper don't look terrible. Like, they're not going to be a playoff team. I think they're going to be like a 11 or a 12 seed though. I think they're going to be a team that like they're going to fight and they're going to win some games that they're not supposed to, but they're going to fall short. They're going to fall like 4 or 5 games out. Be 4 or 5 games out of the play.
That's not a bad take. I see that actually. They could be a pest in the thorn of a thorn into the side of some teams down the stretch. But I'm sorry, there's no way they're making the playoffs. It's just
the other thing is there's no incentive to be a top 3 team in the draft anymore. Your odds are lower because of the new like anti-tanking.
That's true.
So
they might fight.
That's why I say I don't think they're gonna like. It's even teams like Brooklyn and Chicago and stuff like that. They're not gonna just be rollover wins in like March and April because there's no incentive.
I guess that's kind of nice. That's what the new draft rules are like encouraging.
But the shitty part about it is that if you're say the 12th or the 13th team in the lottery, you have a better chance than those top 3 teams to make the number 1 pick.
It's crazy.
So imagine a team, for example, say the Lakers bottom out and they finish as basically on the cusp of a lottery team. It's like, and of course the Lakers don't own their draft pick for next season. Right. Well, say a team like that's like on paper a pretty good team. It could not even be the Lakers. It could be the Celtics, for example. Say they bottom out.
Yeah.
Boom, you get the number 1 overall pick somehow. Immediately just turns your entire fucking team completely around.
It's true. It's very true. And that can happen to any team.
Well, look at Dallas.
Look at Dallas, yeah.
Fucking lands Cooper Flag after dealing...
and that's why in a couple years from now, we're going to be looking at something like at preseason predictions, and I feel like it's just going to look completely different than what it does now, just because of that. There's going to be so much parity in the league, and there is now. But are there any other teams that I just want to briefly touch on before we? No, I kind of talked about them all. Hornets disappointing. Nets, Bulls are just kind of nothing burgers for me, to be honest.
And over in the West, I guess we could look at Dallas.
You can take a gander at Dallas quickly. Like I was saying this earlier, I'm high on them this year. If Kyrie stay healthy.
Max Christie's
nice. Santi Aldama. Can we talk about how good he was in the Memphis? Gafford, solid.
Gafford, Flag. Kyrie.
We got Lively coming back. We got the Risha. I mean, let's see. Maybe a change of scenery will do Risha well. Klay Thompson's still there. He might be gone. Who knows? PJ Washington, solid.
He's also in the bubble of being traded as well. PJ and Klay.
They both are.
Yeah. Well, and then Gafford is even on that list of potential guys that could get traded.
I want to look at their
what their depth chart looks like.
Yeah. So let's look at what their start. Kyrie, obviously Kyrie. Max Christie, solid. Cooper Flag. PJ Washington, solid. Derek Lively.
That's a good five.
With Gafford backing him up. I like Marcus Sasser there in the second unit. And then Risha C is currently in the third unit listed. And so was Najee Marshall. I don't believe that at all. Najee Marshall was a solid bench piece for them last year.
If I'm so suspending belief a little bit on this, like with the whole Klay Thompson potentially going back to LA or going to LA, I could see, oddly enough, I could see a Dalton Connect. I could see a Jaden Hardy. I could see that being a potential like trade. Got the Dalton and Jaden for Klay Thompson.
You know, that would be maybe pretty beneficial for both sides.
Because Dalton could go somewhere where he doesn't have to be the guy, and he could develop behind Cooper Flag as a potential like backup. You would have Jaden Hardy who could help carry the load at point guard.
That's a point guard depth piece.
And then you could even, oddly enough, you could also even throw Vando into this trade, which then you're going to still have to say this right now. You say you trade for Klay and potentially Washington, because those are two guys that are potentially on the market. You throw your remaining 3 second-round picks into the trade. You're trading Connect, Hardy, and Vando for both of those guys, plus those 3 second-round picks. And I'd even go as far as adding the last pick swap that the Lakers can add.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a compelling case. If you're the Lakers, you get a great shooter in Klay Thompson who still can defend. And to me, I feel like he takes the starting spot over Quentin Grimes.
Yeah, there's a very good argument for that right there.
And then you've got PJ Washington that basically just legitimizes your fucking starting five.
PJ Washington would sort of be that replacement for the Rui minutes.
And to me, like, it benefits both teams. Vando goes somewhere else where I think he would probably fit better in Dallas than he would in LA. He just needs a new coaching staff that can actually maybe believe in the guy.
Because if Vando could break through offensively, I mean, he would be a starter anywhere. You know, it's just he's so horrid offensively that he's unplayable in a lot of times. That's the problem with him.
And I don't think Klay wants to be there. So, and like, maybe the PJ part is a stretch, but like, you add 3 second-round picks plus the first-round pick swap, and that clears out all your what am I trying to say? Your assets. But you acquire a much needed wing and you acquire a much needed power forward.
Yeah, could be a thing.
Does Dallas make that?
I don't know. It depends on where they are throughout the year, as the year goes on. As I predicted, if they are in a position where they could push for the playoffs, I don't think they make a trade like that. But if not, or if the simple case, let's say Kyrie goes down again for an extended period of time, and they need something like a Jaden Hardy to fill up 30 minutes a game, you know, I could see them doing it then. But I think best case scenario, they don't have to make a move like that.
I think the Thompson deal happens during the offseason.
And
If
really
it's
quickly,
gonna happen.
one other team I wanted to touch on.
We got another surprise team.
Yeah, not like
I'm liking this. We're
not like a huge point, but just something I wanted to quickly mention. The Utah Jazz
they should be competing.
now have a very interesting,
They got Mo Bamba.
super young roster. Let's look at their depth chart. Second year Keontae George, he was great last year.
Oh, they got a Kogi.
Yeah, yes. Darren Peterson was their second pick, overall pick.
They got Jackson Hayes too. I forgot about that.
They got Jaren Jackson Jr., Lauri Markkanen coming off an All-Star season. Jackson Hayes is an interesting ad. Ace Bailey, for some reason, is behind Darren Peterson. I guess that's crazy. Ace Bailey was their rookie last year, who was great last year. They have incredible depth. The Utah Jazz do, and if nothing else, they're going to be a fun team to watch because of that. They have a lot of young pieces.
No more being the ass crack of the West.
If I'm the Jazz, I'm putting Bailey in over Nurkic any day and sliding Jaren to the 5, and Jaren can be that stretch 5 because Ace Bailey needs to be in the lineup. Not the use of Nurkic should not be in there over him.
You could also argue 5, move him back to the 4,
Yes.
and then put Bailey at the 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like that's way more natural too for Lauri to be at the 4.
And you got defense and shooting with Okogie,
Filipowski, second or third year, I guess.
That's crazy.
And then Mo
to me.
Bamba's just at the end there. He's down there just in case. Who knows, you know?
I think that was a good team to bring up, man.
Yeah, they intrigued me a lot this offseason.
And now they also have all the Lakers picks.
And now they all have the Lakers picks, and I think that they're going to be an interesting play-in type team. I'm not going to say they will make a play-in spot, but I'm going to say play-in type team. That could be fun to watch.
It's going to be so tough because when you go look at the standings again, the West is crazy.
Right. I'm not saying that they're going to make the play-in. I'm just saying they'll be a play-in type team. I think they're better than the Kings, Grizz, and Pelicans right off the rip.
That ain't saying much.
I think yeah, exactly. Kings, I think we can both agree, are going to be probably the worst team in this league.
They're fucking idiots.
And
the team that's had let's just run through this really quick. I have to rip off I gotta rip on the Kings.
might as well.
You had De'Aaron Fox. You had Zach LaVine. You had DeMar DeRozan. And you guys are the 22-60.
Yeah.
You over the course of the last 5 years, you've had all these fucking guys on your team.
They came so close to beating the almost prime Golden State Warriors in a Game 7 in their year where they could have made a deep playoff run and just nothing.
Who is on the Kings at this point, anyways?
DeMar is still there.
DeMar's a free agent.
Russ retired. Let's see, they got Acuff, their first overall pick. Fucking Neek Clifford, who did start a little bit last year. DeAndre Hunter, who's
Ichiwa.
Precious Achua. He played on the Knicks
Achua.
actually for a little bit. DeAndre.
They still have Levine.
They still have Levine. They have Alex Caravan from UConn. They have Malik Monk, who's a good off the bench guy. But I'm sorry and Sabonis is good. But if you look at this overall roster and tell me that they're going to make a playoff spot, I will laugh at you.
They
I
got
will.
so much fucking money tied up between Sabonis and dude, the Kings are so fucked.
Keegan Murray is who he is at this point. DeAndre Hunter is who he is. You know, he's not an all-star. He's a solid piece for like a contender, maybe.
I
But,
could
like,
see this as a team that's selling a lot of their fucking assets by the end of the season.
for
Like,
whatever assets they have, because
Well,
they're
not gonna lie, Sabonis is a guy that I feel
they
like
should
he's
be
gonna
trading
get-
Sabonis first of
he-
all. They
he's
should
gonna get-
definitely be trading him.
it would not be a hot take to say he gets dealt by trade deadline.
And I know we were just talking about the whole like, oh, we should, teams should compete for a higher or a better spot so that there's a better chance of getting them all. Even if the Kings tried, they're not. Like they're going to be the worst team.
Levine's gonna be the king of the castle in this shitbag team.
Yeah, and you know what?
Acuf might
I don't feel bad for I do feel bad for Kings fans, but this is just sad to see after just a few years ago. They looked like they had so much hope, promise.
I think traded away De'Aaron Fox, the fucking idiots.
Right.
So I will say Foxy Boy, proved that he sold the bag in the finals.
He
so.
did. And then one other team quickly that we didn't really talk about much was the Nuggets.
The thing that still is up in the air with the Nuggets, though, man. So they're gonna probably still say that. Where is his name on here? Fucking Peyton Watson. He's not currently signed.
Right, he's still a free agent, but we're expecting that he will be re-signed, correct?
Yeah. Problem is that they are gonna have to like get rid of some sort of salary that's tied to this team.
I'm gonna say right now that Aaron Gordon, Cam Johnson, Jokic, Murray, that is almost $150 million right there in salary combined with 4 players. Yeah, that's a little tough.
Like a lot of people say, well, the thing that sucks most.
And
also,
Christian Brown too. Jeez, oof, I forgot about that. That's that, and he was not good last year in the playoffs, at least.
So you got. To me, a lot of people are saying you have no choice but to deal Jamal Murray. But I'm like, to me, I think you deal maybe Cam Johnson. I just don't see with the long. You got 4 more years of Christian Braun, and no one's taking that deal.
Yeah, no one's trading seriously for that unless he has like an incredible first half of the season and there's contenders that are buying into it. But if you're Denver, you do everything you can to keep Jokic and Murray together. You don't pull a Celtics and split up the 2 best players in their primes. Just keep them together. They already won a fucking championship together. You know they got what it takes. You just gotta give them the right supporting staff. And yeah, Cam Johnson might have to be a trade piece because of how much he's making.
But does Aaron Gordon get looked at all in this situation?
He could. I could see a contending team looking at Aaron Gordon.
He's not going west at all. He'll be going east if he gets traded.
Yeah, he's not going to go to the Timberwolves, that's for sure. Not.
Oh, dude.
Tim Connolly.
If he went to the fucking T-Wolves, ooh.
That would be nasty. That would be nasty. Right
Talk
there.
about best starting 5 potentially.
Yeah, well, best
Holy
starting 5.
hell.
Best starting 5 plus then you'd have either DeSumo or McDaniels off the bench.
McDaniels would probably roll off the bench, and that's
incredible.
yeah.
That would be 6th man of the year right there instantly. Yeah, I mean the Nuggets. They're pretty top heavy and they don't have a lot of flexibility with the Brown and Cameron Johnson contracts.
Well, that's the thing. You got to think. If, say, you get rid of Johnson, you could very easily put Watson there.
Right.
So it's like you're swapping him over to here,
If Watson resigns. Yeah.
which there's a lot of things that are up in the air with him. There's like, for example, the whole Clippers thing with Kawhi is kind of lined up on that too, because
Right.
Clippers have already expressed that if this trade doesn't go through, they will go pursue Peyton Watson heavily.
Uh-huh.
Another guy that right
I
off
did
the
see
bat
that,
that's
yeah.
also on there is Benedict Mathurin, I think his name is.
Yeah, he's good.
He's also a free agent, a restricted guy.
Oh, okay.
So he potentially also could be a guy that gets signed somewhere else because if the Clippers go and get Watson, Benedict's going to be available.
Mathurin would be a big addition to this team. I think that's a lot of energy and a nice addition to the shooting guard position instead of Brown. To be honest, Brown could be a backup, but he's just so expensive. It just kind of sucks.
Yeah, they gotta hope that he plays a lot better this season.
Yeah.
Because to me, I feel like it's if the Nuggets let Watson walk for nothing, they're fucking idiots.
Right. We all know what Jokic is going to be. He's going to be the best basketball player in the world, if not top 3.
Best center in the league
yeah,
other than Wemby.
He has it, like his vision. I don't think I've ever seen a player in my whole life play with better vision than Nikola Jokic does. I mean,
Especially as a center.
yeah,
It's like,
it's
holy
it's
hell.
just incredible. He was built. He was literally born to like play basketball. He does it in the future in his head before it happens in real life.
Like Shaq was the most like powerful center we've ever seen.
Yes, agreed.
But like Jokic was the best vision, best IQ
Best
center.
most highest IQ, knows exactly what to do. That's why I love watching Luca, guys like Luca and him. They just make the right decision, right read every time, without fail. It's just incredible.
Oh, that's why as a Lakers fan I was entirely blessed.
It's
that
like
Luka
watching two
fell in our lap.
grandmasters at work. Like picture two grandmaster chess players like Magnus Carlsen and Hikaru. That's what it feels like watching these guys play. But everyone knows that Jokic is that good. Aaron Gordon, great player, and Murray is Murray. He's plus in the playoffs. I think that's pretty much, unless you want to really like, what's the deal with the Pelicans this year? Nothing good, right?
Their problem is that everybody wants to trade for like Trey Murphy and some of their other guys,
right.
but they all like. So the key guys that I've heard the most out of, we'll go over these guys really fast, but Herb Jones, Sadiq Bey.
Okay.
Um,
Jordan Hawkins, second year. Jeremiah Fears looked good in summer league.
Trey Murphy, Yves Missi, like all these guys, they want to like teams want, but they want like first round picks for all these guys. And Trey Murphy the third, they want like 3 first rounds for.
I don't blame him. I mean, Trey Murphy the third is a serious addition to.
I keep forgetting Zion's on this fucking team.
What version of Zion are we gonna get this year, though?
284 fucking pounds, bro.
I mean, Zion could be a running back or a linebacker in the NFL.
I was gonna say, fucking hey, dude.
Like,
imagine 6'6", 284 pounds Zion.
Ever since I first saw clips of Zion playing, at Duke, my first thought of him was this guy could literally be the best player in the NFL like day one.
Dude, that's like fucking Derrick Henry on steroids. Like, holy fuck.
And the way he jumps too.
But why are you 284 playing basketball, bro?
Fucked up, man. It's so
at 6'6", dude. No wonder why your knees are so fucked.
Yeah.
Stop eating the cheeseburgers, bro.
Yeah.
He dropped down to Derek Queen's height.
Yeah, right.
I mean, weight. Make him 250, dude.
Speaking of Derek Queen, that's a fun rookie. The thing is, with Zion, what version are we gonna get of him? Are we gonna get this ultra fit beast of a man, just overpower anyone going to the rim? When he's on his game, when Zion's on his game, he's the best like rim runner. Like he can.
You also got DeJounte Murray coming back from his Achilles injury.
But all that to say, yeah, he is. But all that to say is these guys are all trade pieces. The Pelicans are not doing anything serious this year.
Jordan Poole's on the fucking Pelicans. Dude, I swear to God, this is a recycled team.
Ah! That's what I'm saying. It's like Bucks vibes.
Why the fuck is DeAndre Jordan on the fucking...
Why is he still playing? I have no idea.
He's 38, dude, playing for the fucking Pelicans. Bro, I think I'd rather retire than play for the Pelicans.
I don't know what he's expecting. He's not winning a ring there.
I'm surprised he's not like trying to like latch on to like hell. even the fucking Lakers or the fucking Celtics or.
He's not going to get minutes anywhere else. I don't
That's
think.
probably the reason why he's
right.
playing here.
Yeah,
Is
he's
like,
not going to get minutes on the Lakers or the Celtics.
but he also shouldn't be getting minutes at all, considering they got all these young guys.
Let me see Hunter Dickinson, Oduro, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he
That
should,
is that is simply a clubhouse voice.
and Derek Queen.
Derek
right?
Queen will be their starter.
Yeah.
So,
it's-
but Pelicans, like, if they keep the starting roster and didn't do anything to it, they're not making the playoffs. I don't think that's a hot take. But they have a lot of pieces to where you could consider, like, Trey Murphy III could be worth 3 first rounders to a team like the Wolves or someone like that, the Nuggets, someone like that that's trying to add an extra guy.
that's not a terrible starting five. Like,
It's not.
But their problem is that Zion isn't gonna play fucking more than 50 games probably. Has he even played 50 games in his? He played 62 last season.
That's more than I originally thought.
Damn, he played rather well.
But that's what I'm saying is people forget how good he is when he's on the floor. He just doesn't play regularly. 30 games a year before 70, 29. So, and then 61, 24. So historically, the next season's going to be a low one. Because it goes low, high, low, high, low, high.
But notice that he's not playing like truly starter minutes. He's like playing, he's a starter, but he's averaging like 28, 29.
But you already said it. It's like his knees need a break.
He needs to fucking drop like 30 or 40 pounds.
Yeah. He needs to eat lean, not cheeseburger.
Yeah, man, Zion, if you're watching this ever, eat some chicken, motherfucker. Stop eating them burgers.
Dude, he lives in New Orleans, bro.
New
It's
Orleans,
hard,
dude, it's
hard,
the soul
it's
food,
hard.
man.
It's
That's
the
all.
soul food.
It's good for your soul, but
It's
it
not
ain't good for
soul
your
food.
stomach,
It's
man.
not good for your NBA
It's not.
playing.
I was gonna say it's not good for your knees, bro.
And then I think that's kind of it. I think
I think you could argue that the worst team in the league isn't gonna come out of the West.
it's going to be the Kings.
like
I truly believe that.
the only other team I could say that I would argue with is maybe Brooklyn. That Brooklyn might be the worst team in the league.
Yeah, it might not be a hot take. Just go to their depth.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
I don't even know half their.
I don't
fucking
even know half these people, bro.
Oh, they got Julius Randle.
They do have Randall and they have Porter Jr. Isn't that so random? They have a G League team around those guys.
Yeah,
It's so funny looking. It's like they got shipped off. They got exiled.
and they got Terrence Mann on this team as well.
Well, you know what? Julius Randle got exiled there because of his playoff performance last season.
That's so fucking funny.
It's true. I mean,
Daron Sharp is somebody. This team actually might not be the worst team in the league this year because
I think this team's better than the Nets or better than the Kings.
Yeah.
Michael Brown Jr. was their rookie. Is their rookie this year. We'll see what he turns into. And Ewer Denham has some potential, right?
And I still think Daron Sharp is one of those young centers that
Yeah.
think you can look at and say, okay, he might actually be big for them.
Caleb Wilson's interesting.
Claxton's on the Bulls?
Claxton on the roll.
Oh, fuck.
Matas Buzeles. He was alright last year.
Why the fuck did you... Oh, yeah, they threw a shit ton of
They
money at
gave him a
Powell.
lot of money. They gave him a lot of money, and they got Rob Dillingham.
Yeah, no, this
This is a bad team, guys. I mean, Caleb Wilson looks like he's going to be really good, but this team as a whole, not great.
Yeah, no, that's
great.
not.
That's a non-playoff team. Sorry, Chicago fans.
Brooklyn's definitely better than them.
I agree. I think Brooklyn's more interesting than them.
So safe to say, Chicago might be the worst team in the East this year.
I'm gonna say Chicago worst team in the East this year. I'm gonna say Brooklyn. I'm gonna say Bucks second worst. Brooklyn third worst. And then I have to think.
So
about it.
basically in the same spot they are right now with last year's standings. against Brooklyn.
Essentially, yeah. But I think the Nets look more interesting this season than they did last season. I think they look
100%.
more like a team. But I don't think they're winning much games. Let's be real.
I think they win more than they won last year. I think
I think I agree. They win more than the Bulls. They win more than
I think they win 30 games.
the Milwaukee Bucks.
I say they get a 10-win improvement because they got much more talent on that team this year.
We'll see.
Because I'm just saying, like, because Julius Randle's a great regular season guy. He's going to put up his 20, 25 points a game as one of the key guys.
And you're right. And Porter Jr. is a good player too.
So, like, I'd say
Who won a chip, by the way, with the Nuggets.
I'd say their basement's 25 wins, and their ceiling is 30.
All right. I agree. They will win more than 20 this season. I think their basement's around. Yeah, that's not a bad take actually. Basement around 25. I would say ceiling even maybe 30, maybe 32. But again, the East Coast is more competitive now, I think, than it has been in a very long time.
I love the fact that the both conferences,
Now that we can like zoom back out really quick and just look, both conferences are going to be pretty fucking competitive, and I love that for the first time in years.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting season. I'm fun. I'm excited for it. I really am. Even though the Celtics pissed me off beyond proportional measures, and I don't know if I could ever forgive him for this. I'm gonna have to at some point find forgiveness in my heart. But
Hey, trust me, if the Lakers would have gotten rid of Austin Reeves, dude, I would have been fucking
pissed. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I would have been. Dude, I was ready to fucking slap the fuck out of Pelinka when they let Smart go. I was
Rightfully so. I mean, we explained it way earlier in the stream. Austin Reeves is essential for them to re-sign. Yeah, I think the Pacers make a massive improvement. Are a playoff team. I think the Wizards are going to be very interesting and at least make the play-in. But overall, I'm Sixers are top 2.
Oh, we got a chat over on Twitch. Sco Boys 11. Do you watch the NFL? Yes, we do watch the NFL. I did my breakdowns last week when it comes to football, but I'm going to continuously try to do some fantasy football episodes every week, which hopefully this man will join me again for another podcast at some point as well. Those usually, though, I usually do those on a Saturday, Sunday. I try to at least, because more people tend to tune into those episodes. So we'll see, guys. But yeah, I definitely love the NFL. Go Jets, even though they fucking suck.
At least you're loyal to your
my shitbag franchise.
Yeah, and that's all that matters, you know.
Well, hey, we're both in the same boat there, amigo.
Yeah. As a Titans fan, I know. Do the math on that. Celtics, Red Sox, Titans. Do the math on that one. I love Vince Young, though.
We both love poverty franchises.
We do. Yeah, I think the Titans make a step forward this year.
The Jets do too.
But we talked about that already, actually, in a previous episode. But I think that kind of wraps up. Just for fun, final thing of the stream here. Just for fun, or at least for my portion of the stream, because I got a dip. But what do you think the finals matchup is this year? East, like just for funsies. Doesn't have to be close to accurate, but
we'll say, why don't we do a little bit easier? Top 2 teams that are going to be meeting in the Eastern Conference Finals, and top 2 teams that are meeting in the West.
All right, we'll do that. I like that.
I'm going to say in the East, it's going to be a hot take, I feel like, in some ways. But I'm still rolling with the Knicks. And it's tough to not pick Philly. Because it's like, it's tough because Toronto, I think, is going to be one of those teams that like can snag that spot.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna go with Philly and New York. I'm still gonna go with that in the East. And for the West, I'm gonna take a hot take here. And you're gonna call me crazy for this.
It's okay. This is why it's prediction.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say the Lakers hit their ceiling by making the Western Conference Finals.
That was sort of the hot take I was afraid of him saying.
But the thing is, guess who they will run into for the steamroller though?
You going San Antonio or OKC?
I'm gonna go San Antonio.
Nice.
And I will say I won't pick my Lakers in that series. I'd pick the Spurs. But I just think some things can get lucky. We never know what happens through the course of a season. Injuries happen, all the crazy things that can happen. Maybe they acquire somebody at the deadline. I'm just optimistic that the Lakers make the Western Conference Finals, but will still show that they are not close enough to beat an OKC or a San Antonio team.
No,
and I think
like
San Antonio makes it back to the finals for the second year in a row.
I like it. You made your prediction. You have some reasons behind it, and again, we could look very silly and at the end of the season when these don't come true. But
what's up, JU? Well, welcome to the stream, man.
So your Eastern Conference Finals is Knicks, Sixers, and your Western Conference Finals is Spurs. Like, all right.
I think that's a pretty crazy.
I could see a world where that happens. I think it's highly unlikely on the Lakers' end, but hey, prove me wrong. I've been proved wrong many a time.
Well, hey, 2023, I'm going to say it right now. Lakers were not expected to go to the Western Conference Finals, and they did, and they got absolutely mollywalked by the Nuggets.
So, all right, my prediction is going to be, yeah, and no, sorry, Celtics, I've been out on you now for since that trade. My prediction is going to be the Sixers in the Eastern Conference Finals, right?
Yep.
Sixers, and this is like best case scenario. They can stay healthy, and Embiid's there for the playoffs, and Jaylen Brown turns up again, and Maxey looks the part, and LeBron, and that everything about the Sixers screams best team on paper to me in the East Coast. And then I'm going to kind of do a hot take. Maybe not so much given their recent history, but I'm going to say the Pacers. I'm going to say the Pacers will beat the Knicks, or Sixers will beat the Knicks. I know the Knicks just won the finals, and that might upset some people, but maybe I just like to mix things up and make it interesting. And I think Indiana has a huge bounce back season. I love their lineup. If Halliburton can stay healthy, Siakam, Zubac, that's just such a lethal trio right there. And they got crazy good depth now. I'm going to say Pacers, Sixers in the East. And then the West Coast, I'm going to do kind of what you did. And not pick the boring route, because I could just say Thunder, Spurs and believe that 100%. But I'm not going to do that because that's boring. And also, I would much rather see this matchup. Minnesota Spurs in the West Coast. How fun would that be?
Gobert versus
Wemby. Dosunmu versus Castle. LaMelo versus Dylan Harper. Dude, imagine that at Edwards, you know?
Who wins the series?
I think unless the Timberwolves make a deadline deal to acquire just something else off the bench in terms of like 3-and-D or something, I think the Spurs will best them, especially given now that they've just been in the finals and Wemby's coming back third year hungry for a chip.
Oh, he's gonna be hungry and pissed.
Yeah,
and covered in egg.
I
had to throw that out there.
So
that
I
shit
think
was so fucking funny.
I think Spurs. I think at their both at their best, I think Spurs would win that series in like 6, unless the Timberwolves got another piece. But that's gonna be
over in your East, though.
Yeah.
Who's winning? Philly or Indiana?
That's tough, dude. Because I could see either at their best. I think this is Jaylen Brown's revenge year, and maybe I know I'm just saying that maybe because I'm a Celtics fan, but
and that you're pissed off,
and I'm upset, and I'm cheering for him. But I think the Sixers best Indiana, and I think Indiana's not done in this like Halliburton era. I think they could maybe make it again next year, but
who wins the finals then at that point? Philly or
I think a hungry Wemby is winning this finals. I really do.
Philly versus San Antonio? That'd be crazy.
Philly versus San Antonio would be such a fun series to watch.
That's going 7.
That would be
That's
such a
fucking going
and
7.
Embiid versus Wemby, dude. Wow, that would be so fun to watch.
LeBron there.
LeBron and
Jalen
dude,
Brown.
versus-
Edgecombe.
versus-
Maxey.
versus a new and improved Harper and Castle, who, by the way, they just made a finals run, and they were rookies.
Jayu's saying he's still shitting on the Celtics.
Yeah, sorry, I'm.
He's a Celtics fan too.
I'm a Celtics fan, my boy. I'm salty. I'm very salty with how this offseason went. I mean, as good of a season that this is shaping up to be, it's going to be very hard to be super invested in the Celtics right now, just because.
That East did get a lot better.
But I could see a world where the Raptors make the Eastern Conference Finals. I could see a world where the Pistons make it, where the Knicks make it again, obviously. I could see a world where even the Heat make a run there again. So it'll be an interesting season.
I think for once we can really say, because even OKC's weakened their bench a little bit,
Yeah.
that I truly think it is completely wide open this year for once in a while.
I think it is pretty wide open. We're gonna see a lot unfold during the year, and it'll be interesting, dude. It'll be fun to watch.
But
See what the Hawks can do.
we'll say really quick, again, want to thank you again
Yes,
for popping
sir.
on the stream, broski.
Yes, sir,
Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
We'll definitely we'll link up for another one for sure.
At some point, for sure.
Hopefully a fantasy football episode before the drafts and shit kick in.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Yeah.
And our draft is first week of September, by the way.
Okay. Did you set it?
Yeah, I already said it in the league settings.
Cool.
So,
Cool.
but
Dude.
anyways, just want to say really quick, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate you all very much. And hang on, let me see that. Bet we are still a top 3 team in the East, if not number 1. All right.
I
I
wouldn't
like
be,
the hot take.
I wouldn't be shocked. It's the Celtics, and again, I already talked about all the good things that we have. The incredible depth, the great guard play, everything is still good in that sense. It's just like the heart-ripping move of Jalen Brown is too much to come back from right now emotionally. That's all it
I
is.
love it.
And Paul George could have a great year, He could have but it's just
That's
not
the only way
same.
that this trade doesn't blow back in the Celtics' face. is if-
and the Celtics will still be in the mix for the Eastern Conference championship. But Pacers Sixers right now is my choice. And if the Celtics make it, I'll be bittersweet about it. Not gonna lie, I'll be happy on the inside. I'll be a little upset though at the same time.
But anyways, everyone, thank you so much. Appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful night. Stay safe. Drive safe, everybody. Peace out.